Poducer.
Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to Poducer, the podcast for producers. Today we are joined by the Lake Effect crew. Not the full crew, but some of the crew. You guys wanna go around and introduce yourselves real quick so we know who we're talking to?
Hi, I'm Spencer. I go by Swesdo. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Eddie. I use the moniker Other Self, and yeah.
Jack, I go by Relativity Lounge. Over to the left of me,
I'm Jim. I go by Rim Jickles.
Rim King.
What's up?
Got a few other people that aren't in the mix with us here today. We got Lucas Thisby. We got Scariana. We got Two Tips. We got a bunch of other people that just are kind of in and out with our different parties we throw throughout the city and whatnot, and slowly evolving different little crew of DJs and annoying other people that we can annoy the general public with, you know.
For sure.
That's about what we get up to.
Yo, what's up, guys? Before we get into today's show, I want to take a quick moment to talk about our sponsor, QUAKE. As music producers and concert enthusiasts, we know how important it is to protect our ears. That's where QUAKE's Dub Muffs V2 come in. They aren't just any earplugs, they're a game changer. What sets Dub Muffs V2 apart, first off, their quality. They're better than any plugs I've ever used. I use them all the time. I have custom in-ear plugs. These are my main ones that I bring to shows. You get premium sound clarity, preserving those crisp highs and deep lows, all while safeguarding your ears from damaging volumes. And the best part, they don't break the bank. Quality and affordability, son. Let's talk customization. QUAKE knows one size doesn't fit all. That's why they offer two sizes. Whether you're at an intimate gig or a massive festival, Dub Muffs V2 fit comfortably in your ears, making sure you're protected no matter how long the show lasts. Let's face it, we've all left concerts with ringing in our ears. It's not good, but it ends up happening. But it doesn't have to be that way. Protect your ears while enjoying the pure sound of music with QUAKE's Dub Muffs V2. As a special thank you to our listeners, QUAKE is offering an exclusive discount. Just use the code POD15 at checkout to save on your first purchase. As a motto of our show, make sure you protect your ears. Now let's get back to the show. I figure we just start this out the same way I start out every podcast, which is a concert question. A question about your first concert, which... Yeah, what was your first concert? And we can go, should we go clockwise?
Let's do it.
What was my first concert? I think it was at Congress. It was like Up in Smoke Tour with Currency, Big Boy.
Damn.
Chitty Bang, because they were hot at the time at the beginning of like college and stuff like that. Currency, Big Boy, Chitty Bang, and Big Sean, if I recall correctly. I think that was my first like actual like first concert that I went to that wasn't like in some park or something like that. Like I saw like
Fest or something.
Well, like I think I saw like Sheryl Crow at like a Elmhurst Park Fest.
All right,
but I don't remember what.
Right.
I was like younger and stuff like that. If I'm remembering that, but like one that like I actually bought the ticket for and was like consciously going.
You didn't get dragged to that deal. I mean, Sheryl Crow is fire. Like,
yeah,
but
that's a banger.
I'm like 99% sure.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We had another.
If it makes you happy, you know.
Dude, you answered the question correctly. Well done.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Yeah, my first concert. Yeah, once again, not like my friend's band in high school or anything like that. I guess I did see Buddy Guy at a street fest because my dad was really into the blues. But yeah, my first like real concert, I think, was Slightly Stoopid and 311.
Nice.
Yeah. It was fun. It was fun. Slightly Stupid was really good. 311 was all right.
Amber.
Yeah.
This guy gets hot.
Was this in Chicago?
Yeah, it was in Chicago. It was at Northerly Island.
Oh,
Was that later?
Damn.
Yeah, I know. Well, it was like right when it opened.
That's sick.
Yeah, I was about like must have been like 17. It was so
Wide-eyed Ed. heading
yeah,
out to Northern
yeah,
Ireland.
getting like parents picking you up at fucking the Metro and shit like that, and you're like, oh, you know.
I think I might have went to that concert.
Yeah,
Unless they didn't, like, they probably did it like a few years in a row
they did tour a couple times together.
at Northerly.
Yeah,
I had some buddies that rolled through that, I feel like. but
yeah.
Never me. I never went to the Peace Fest either. That was always a big one
Oh yeah,
out here. That was, I never ended up going to it. It sounded fun, but
I forgot about Peace
sadly,
Fest.
yeah, Peace Fest would have been cool.
Yeah,
Where was Peace Fest?
I forget where exactly they threw it, but it was that General Patton guy, and they'd always have like, it was kind of reggae and then electronic stage, I feel like, kind of vibes, maybe jam stuff. But
And then there was Winter Peace Fest.
Winter
Yeah.
Peace Fest,
Yeah.
yeah.
What?
it was free, right?
Yeah, I think it was always a free thing. Definitely like the first kids if you're from around here, went to like school out here or whatever.
Yeah.
First kids that would go to like probably Electric Forest or like any of those festivals that you knew. They were banging a Peace Fest like starting off for I'd say probably. It's the Gateway Festival maybe in the Chicagoland area.
Next question is, how old are you guys? No, I'm just kidding. You don't have to answer that. But like, I grew up in the suburbs, so like, my first was Lala, but
Yeah.
and that's a thing.
I hit
right?
Lala in 2011. That was honestly, yeah, that's probably the first concert I bought a ticket for. My parents took me to Cage the Elephant in like 2011 too, which was sick.
Yeah.
And that was at the Vic Theater. So going to get there, start smelling a little bit of kush in the crowd. You're like, whoa,
A little kush
all
in the
right.
crowd?
Yeah, what's going on? You
Somebody
see,
just hands you.
see some like fucking death metal stoner with hair down to his ass, and you're like, God damn. I can hang in a basement with this guy and get into it. Let's go. And no, good times. Fucking Lollapalooza though is a kid from the suburbs rolling into the city just to cause an absolute disturbance and kind of just be a nuisance to everybody that lives out here. and
Yeah, like
enjoys their life on a day-to-day basis. Kind
Lala.
of thwart it in downtown area for a bit.
Lala was like amazing as a kid. You know what I mean? Like you're doing your thing,
Oh,
but
yeah.
now as an adult, I'm like, I don't like the person that I was in that crowd.
I would pop over for a day. I haven't gone since 2012, and I'm like, I think there's gonna be one year where I just have a little bit of money laying around, and I'll pull the trigger on a day. Fucking.
I haven't
Are you
gone
guys
since,
thinking
like
about that?
2015.
Yeah.
I went like 3 years in a row.
Nice.
2013, 2014, 2015.
You picked up when I left off. I was like, I'm
okay.
done in 2012.
Yeah.
I went in 2013.
Yeah.
Wait, so was it Cage the Elephant for your first official?
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
First official
Nice.
concert.
Secondary
That was
question is, did you play Borderlands? Did you ever play that game?
Oh yeah.
That's
Oh
like,
yeah, that Ain't No Rest for the Wicked was the big one. I didn't honestly even play it like when I saw him that much, and
Yeah.
like my buddies were all like, "Yeah, they have that song in fucking Borderlands." Because I was like, "All right, yeah, cool, go check it out." My parents honestly kind of turned me on to them more than I knew. I didn't listen to like the radio a shit ton. I was just kind of on like internet music at that point, and then I was like, they were banging on Q101, I guess, a lot out here. And, like, I think
before
that's
they
probably
changed
who
their
threw-
music programming.
yeah, right. And I think that's how a lot of people knew him and kind of Borderlands for sure. And then right once I saw him, dove deep, and I was like, God damn, cool band. Every time I've seen him, they kind of bring it, throw it down. Good time. Haven't seen him in ages though.
I saw him at Lala. And also, I was going to ask you
Yeah,
guys.
I saw him there too. I feel like maybe 2012. I forget. When.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah.
Are we excited about the like Skrillex? Like, did you guys see the lineup for Lala this year? There's like a question mark over Perry's, and it's like, it's Skrillex. We already know.
All right, that'd be fun. I saw him there in 2011 when he was like really kind of blowing up, and that man you understood how he blew up so fast. He's using the fucking truss as a jungle gym up there. He's climbing 20 feet in the air and jumping into the crowd. And being
Skrill?
like, yeah, for sure. He was like, those pictures where you see him like standing on the CDJs is not like any exaggeration of any kind. It's he gets down up there and you kind of understand. You're like, it's kids love energy like that, so you understand how it's gonna go far.
Now he's
very
a daddy.
quickly. Now he is.
I mean, he's coming
after Daddy.
He's
isn't he?
coming from a
Really?
band from first to last, which
True.
is like high
Hardcore,
energy,
yeah,
you
high
know,
energy
like,
stuff.
it's-
Front man shit.
Yeah.
Skrillex
It's just all
walked
the same
so
energy.
Jaleel could run.
Don't even.
What was your first concert?
Yeah,
Jimbo?
yeah. Sorry, not to go tangent.
Mine was actually probably in like '99.
Damn.
Yeah, my mom got me tickets for Christmas to Backstreet Boys.
He's trumping everybody.
Just won the first
99? Wait,
question.
did you get the, was that
God
the
damn.
Millennium Tour?
Yeah, it was.
Oh my
it was actually.
God.
God damn.
Yeah.
How old were you at the time?
I was 6.
Damn.
6 or 7.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I think 7.
Wow.
I'd be 7 in February. So by the time, yeah.
Was it like a
Wow.
religious experience? That had to be fucking nuts.
Honestly, I don't really remember.
Wow.
No
But you
terror,
remember
I'll
the
tell you
dance
what.
moves.
Dude, it was a whole like mandala effect that I had with my mom because I brought it up and I tried to look up the show, and based on when she bought me the ticket and like the information I saw, like we went to Allstate Arena, right? Yeah, yeah, we went. That's where it was, and then looked it up and it like it didn't line up to our memory. Like I don't know what's going on here. I don't like this. I don't like this. But we both remember like
Going.
yeah to
Yeah.
that specific arena, and that's just not what I found online from multiple sources. Like, all right,
Could it
well,
have been
whatever.
in sync? Is that a
Ooh,
possibility?
No,
no.
it was,
You
it was
knew.
100% Backstreet Boys. Yeah.
So it's the boys.
It was the boys.
I would
yeah.
remember. I would remember if I saw Justin Timberlake.
True, JT in the
That-
flesh. You know,
Back in the
That's
day.
something that would like. Oh, I remember that concert vividly.
Yeah.
But the Backstreet Boys, Nick Carter, whatever.
Back when he had that that macaroni hair.
the Mac hair, Kraft Yeezys,
Oh boy.
Mac hair.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for taking me down memory lane. We're gonna stick on memory lane though, because I always like to do like a little origin story, like how the hero emerges. And the hero in this case is Lake Effect.
Multi-headed behemoth.
Yes.
What do you call it? A Cerberus?
Yeah,
One of those like
the,
8-headed
A
dogs.
Hydra,
Yeah.
Cerberus, so one of those.
Yeah, a many-headed being.
That's not the Howard Stern thing.
They don't have they have a mechanical one.
Who's
of those?
getting on the Cerber?
Oh, the Sibian.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, we don't have one of those in studio,
God
unfortunately,
damn.
but
Next time.
Yeah, next time.
Yeah, if you read the emails better next time, we'll have one in here, huh?
Yeah.
It's in my rider.
Yeah, put it on the rider.
Dude, the most insane writer just like, yeah, I need that Sibian. Sorry.
It's
would be a
literally
little
a
wacky.
rider.
quite literally.
We do drinks. That's about it, and food.
So yeah, back to the origin story. We were all on a Sibian, and we decided, but pretty much I kind of saw it was COVID times, maybe 2020-ish, and spent a lot of time just like kind of hanging out around the city, riding around, just hanging out on the lake, jumping in, listening to music off a Bluetooth speaker with my buddies, like drinking beer, doing whatever. And, you start to see the potential of just all these different spots that you're hanging out at, and where it's like, there's a very, very choice place to enjoy listening to some music, enjoy like taking in a nice, like, I don't know, music's one of those like very like art forms that's initially emotive, like it kind of like can quickly capture some of your emotions, and feel like seeing some of the like backdrops that are across the lakefront or just throughout the city entirely is it's fun to add those like emotive memories into your, I don't know, memory bank, because a lot of those times where you'll hear different songs and it'll take you back to a certain point. It's fun to have that be instilled on the lakefront. Not at all what the intention was in the beginning. That's just something that's come by happenstance. But essentially started posting around on Facebook, gauging interest, being like, hey, who would be into maybe throwing some parties? I'm going to get a sound box, and then I can start pretty much just playing Ableton sets or whatever out on the lakefront was my main idea to start with. And start a little GoFundMe, said, hey, yeah, I'll just start throwing parties for the people. It's like $800 for one of these little sound box, which is a small self-contained little PA speaker. You can do Bluetooth, you can plug into it with speaker cables, whatever you want to do. And got a couple donations from people. It was beautiful. And then we had big old Daddy Ed over here came in with a nice fat contribution and kind of finished out the whole payment side of the soundbox and acquired that, and then honestly took about a year or so dicking around to actually get any pop-ups started. And we all kind of congregated. I want to say it was June of 2022. Yeah. And or was it May?
It was 2020. I thought it was 21. But
was it 21?
Wrong. Yeah.
No, it was 22.
Yeah, I think it was 22, right?
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, and then we started off just a single like soundbox pretty much on Logan Boulevard. We all pulled up. We were off our buddy Dana's DDJ little like controller, and then Jim came through.
We're feeding power off of like one of their homies' houses. Like,
yeah, one of my good buddies from high school is Jake's apartment. We pretty much ran a little power strip from inside his apartment
it's like his 100
across the boulevard, like the little that side street on the boulevard that people just park on and kind of drive through. Ran the extension cord across that, pull everything just right out into the little strip there. It's, if you want to call all the neighbors were pissed that day, even though we weren't that loud. We didn't bring out a big system, but we were just making enough noise where we had a few people come start giving us looks. They started calling his landlord up personally and being like, it's pretty it doesn't take Dick Tracy to see where the source of the problem's coming from here. And that was a funny kind of first pop up there. But we all kind of been friends and kicking it in the music scene for a little bit. I feel like I'd known Spencer from, we'd worked in this little collective, Black Moon Syndicate, that's they're still kind of putting some stuff out. We're still working with them a bit, but we've known each other since probably 2018 or so in like Chicagoland music scene. Always gotten along, seen very like eye to eye, kind of been on we all, and everybody that's kind of in like, I mean, we all generally see in the same direction. You know, there's varying opinions on everything, and that's diversity in opinions brings a fucking awesome like mix of ideas to the table and helps create like a cool product.
But we all essentially want the same
same
end result,
which is you know, have some fun on the lakefront or wherever we can in Chicago and just put on cool parties for the people. Put out some cool music if we can. You know, we're kind of got the record label thing going. We're starting, we're starting to get back into that a little bit more. We'd put out a release in December that was kind of, we were putting all the profits towards just any money we made towards a Hikini like hotline fund out in Gaza that pretty much is like a mental health hotline they've been building out there. And I think they just reached their goal like a month or two ago of I think it was like $70,000 or something like that. But yeah, they're building a mental health. As far as like the Gaza stuff goes, there's not a bunch you can do to immediately get aid out there in like the past couple months, but it's been interesting just kind of getting back into the label stuff. We're trying to pump Lucas Thisbe out there a bit now. He's sadly couldn't make it tonight, but he's definitely kind of a newer member from Lake Effect. He's moved down from Madison, Wisconsin, and has always been involved in the kind of Driftmore community out there. Kills it on the dub techno vibe for this release we're kind of gearing up for.
Love some dub techno.
Yeah, it's a good stuff.
I love dub techno.
Yeah.
Speaking of the other season of Chicago, like during the winter, that's when I listen to my dub techno.
It is the season for it, honestly, and it's like people we'll play music out here, and I feel like I'll just tweet or talk on social media about dub techno a lot and be playing some music and like, wow, I really like that dub techno you guys are playing. I was like, don't think there's a single dub techno track in there, but cheers. But sorry, I'm just kind of steamrolling all this. I don't know, like
no, this is a good foray. It's a good. Does anyone else have anything to say about the origin, like how it started specifically? Before we kind of like
feel like there was a good little bit where we were all kind of mixing together too, and just realizing that we could play our tracks out like all side by side. And that summer 22, I feel like we all kind of
summer 22 was when it like kicked off.
We had like a skate park pop up. That was when I feel like we realized like more people would come out. I feel like there was like 70 people or so like at the Logan Square skate park. So that was when we kind of like, some of the other ones it was like 20-30 people, and that like I feel like the skate park one for sure. Like we started that in the afternoon. I got there at like 4 or something, and Jim was like scratching while somebody else was playing, and we went pretty late that night. We went till like 1. We had the generator and stuff.
We pushed it pretty late.
And they had all the like grass off to the side, so like people could sit down and stuff like that. So it still had like the park element for the audience.
It's very true. That does kind of feel like the one where we almost realized the potential, and like I feel like we all realized, and everybody else realized the potential that we almost had, and we all kind of realized it together. We're like, oh, we can actually do some kind of cool shit with this here.
Yeah.
And like,
The main thing for me was like I didn't really have very close connection to a lot of people in the music scene, mostly because a lot of people were like producers. So, and I'm just DJing, just getting into producing, don't really know what I'm doing, but so having a group of people that just want to like get together for the sake of just playing music outdoors, like that's something that I've always been craving, and it was nice to have that, just to stumble upon that essentially. And
Same.
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
And like
Yep.
the fact that like none of these people are dickheads is just like a major plus.
Yeah, I don't know you guys too well, but I like you guys. You guys seem like nice people.
not major dick.
Yeah, you don't know the
I mean, you have to be a little bit of a dick for me to like really like you.
Not an unnecessary.
Hey,
dick.
shut
Gotta
up.
be a hater.
Yeah.
I need to hear some hate from you at
Yeah.
some point.
Every once in a while.
Oh yeah.
So I'm kind of curious about like how it builds. You know, you got that that first piece of gear. How is it kind of built up from there?
So yeah, that's kind of a funny story. Thus has begun the Frankenstein setup of fucking lake effect. You know, it's like
Yeah.
holy shit. Yeah, we've kind of been using a hodgepodge of. It's when I say it, like it's a fucking collect. Everybody's pulling. We've been using our friend D Aldala's speakers a lot the past like 2 or 3 years. She's been huge on helping us out with everything that we've done.
Big shout out.
D.
Big shout out to
D.
fucking D. Has literally done like leaps and bounds so much to fucking help us out.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yep.
But yeah, she has these JBL PRX 800s that we've been using out on the lakefront wherever we throw these pop-ups, and they're these like 15. They're 3-way speakers, 15-inch subs. I think maybe like 3-inch or 5-inch mids, and then like 1-inch tweeters, stuff like that. Pretty. They throw pretty well, and just for having 2 of them, fills out a smaller kind of like outdoor space pretty nicely. And then Jimbo here has brought over his XDJ, that kind of self-contained. You're sitting right next to one there. Self-contained deck setup. We've pretty much since the beginning he's been bringing. We would start off kind of using a DDJ and a laptop, which is never the ideal way to set things up like that. And he just like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Let me bring this nice ass fucking DJ table over, plop that down, plop the XDJ down on top of it, and he's like, now we're going. And not wrong at all. This is a beautiful thing. And slowly over the years, yeah, we just kind of been building up our little equipment list, but we're looking into now. This is the year where we're realizing we gotta really step it up and get a PA system cooking for ourselves and just
That we own.
start owning a sound system, building it out a bit more, kind of just having getting something started to grow upon for like years to come, you know?
Yeah, the fact that D's not like directly involved with us is like where we feel like we should say like, and that's why it's big shout out to her, because she does not have to do that for us at all.
No, she's just been so nice and let us use her
Yep.
speakers over like long period of time. It's been huge. I mean, shit, it's for the love. I mean,
It helps having like been friends with like D, like me and Jack been friends with D since, you know,
yeah,
Pretty
forever.
since we've been friends pretty
Literally,
much.
yeah. Those speakers, we used them in like 2019 or whatever out at Feed for Hayes Carabal's like album release party. That was awesome. The speakers have been through a bunch. A little bunch of different music's been played through them. It's pretty cool. A bunch of different people have played through those speakers. Very fun time. It's like
They
rap.
sound really good too.
Yeah, I never thought I'd be championing a JBL modern JBL
Right.
speaker, but you know they're not bad. I'll give you, they're fucking solid.
They sound quite
yeah,
nice.
they sound nice, and you know we play tunes that fucking only sound good, so hard not to.
So, I mean, you know, there's like probably only so much you can bring to a DIY kind of event. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like you're building up the list of stuff, but also there's probably like a point where you're like we can't have too much more stuff here, otherwise
You
it's
don't
going
want
to
to blow it up a
become
bit too much, you know?
yeah, it's going to become like people are going to first of all like notice you more, which might be
Yeah.
good to get some people over there, but at the same time you know,
boys
you
in
don't
blue.
want to attract to the boys in blue.
Who needs that?
So yeah, like you were saying that getting your own speaker system would be good. Have you guys ever thought about getting the like, you know, making the stack like sound system culture
Yeah,
type
For sure.
deal?
That's the goal. I've just kind of moved into a spot where it's going to be a little bit more attainable to start working on that in the future. Eddie's in a spot where I feel like between our two places, we can kind of start building stuff out. We got room to kind of work on things now. I was in a second floor unit up until like a month ago where I just didn't have any room to actually store anything, have any tools of any sort, get anything done. Now I'm got a bit more space where I'm at now, which is huge. And I think we're going to start probably just to maybe get some like QSC K12s and just have those as their
Nice.
tops just for just the immediate like first things we get. So it's like, all right, we just have a decent pair of tops we can use whenever, because I mean at the end of the day, that's the most important part. That's that's where all the actual information from the music lives. We all love the fucking sub. I love sub more than fucking anyone else out there, but it's that's where we're probably gonna start with the building outside of things, is on the subs, and really kind of focus on dialing those in, because they're a little bit they're a little simpler, I feel like, to start off with than maybe going for like a really high fidelity top end speaker, like, or mid range. So maybe get some Serwin. Matt, I see you got all the Quake fucking stuff here. Shout out Snakeblood, Matt Oury.
Shout out Snake Blood.
Yeah, he's kind of shown me he's led me the way a little bit of being like, hey, you know, just get some fucking Serwin Vegas, pop the drivers out, throw some BNCs in there, then like get some decent amps and DSP, and it'll sound pretty fucking good. I've heard his system sounds great. I think it's definitely something that, yeah, maybe we'd strive towards, because he does kind of have those pre-bought tops with the custom subs. It's a nice way to just get started into that whole venture without having to fully dive deep, make your own tops, make your own everything, because it's like a little overwhelming.
It's a
just to
lot.
start off with.
Yeah.
Especially
And
when
it's just like, I feel like that grabs attention more. And I
Yeah.
feel like the other question I have is, you know, like you kind of got to strike this balance between like getting attention and like it being a
Staying
good time,
covert.
and then also staying like incognito.
Yeah, for sure. There's a fine line there, because Chicago, luckily enough, a lot of people do this. And if you're not being kind of too ridiculous or, I don't know, having like kind of violent outbursts at your things, or a big, like, I don't know, you just got to kind
Safety
of
hazards.
safety hazards. And here's the thing, any of those things that pop up, it's hard for any people throwing that to control that in a public space. Like, that's something that I feel like just kind of will start happening, and you need to, when it's happening, you're just realizing it, it's almost too late. So it's like, I've noticed there's crews that have had giant fucking parties pop off, and it's like, I wouldn't necessarily even want that for us at certain points, because it would be a little overwhelming. And then you guys do start worrying about, hey, would they come seize all our gear right now? Would they come like start fucking with us? It's a whole like list of things you gotta start thinking about, especially when most of it not our gear. It's like, all right,
Not your gear. Yeah.
you gotta really take that into consideration as well. But especially because we've done collabs with like our biggest probably venture yet. We brought Function, the Sub Valley folks, fine folks over at Sub Valley. We did a Function 1 pop up with them out on Montrose Harbor, like kind of on the edge there if you go fully around the peninsula.
Did the cops come through for that one at all?
They were just like around
for parking.
yeah,
They
that's
came around
parking.
with it, and they're like,
It wasn't-
please move your car. And it was just like this thing on repeat.
Yeah,
for
it was like
30 minutes
parking
till we
enforcement.
unloaded
It wasn't
everything.
even like the actual cops.
The
Yeah.
safety yellow people, like the park people, like drove by on the grass. But then as soon as they did that, we like shut all the lights off. And we're like, all right, we're
Well, they
gonna
kicked us
unload
out
now.
when the park closed or whatever.
Yeah.
They don't
Yeah.
really care. Yeah, we've had cops come to a couple, and we definitely have.
So like as far as
pushed-
like the size thing, it's like, and it's not even that like having like a bigger system really attracts more people. You know, it's all about like how loud you play it and like the outlets that like, you know, as long
Where
as
it is.
where you, yeah,
Where it
well,
is.
It depends where our stuff's promoted, and it's really just from our personal pages mostly. So I think that's why it's like a nice tight knit crowd.
We haven't gone too crazy with the trying to make viral type videos of
for
like
sure,
come to this
exactly.
pop up here, and like I don't know, because it's it's a fine line you ride with all that stuff. You know, you can, all of a sudden you're in over your head, and what originally was just like a very fun, pure thing becomes something that truly more of a headache than it's worth almost.
Yeah.
And it's like, riding that line's huge. What was I about to say? The one funny cop story I will say was the July 4th, or I think it was around July 4th when we were throwing.
Oh, I wasn't at the July 4th. That was one of the ones I missed the first season.
Yeah. We had a few of our good friends out there playing. Eddie, you threw down a fucking modular set on that one. We had our buddy Darkhurst, shouts out Darkhurst, throw down after that. Or before that, I believe. And then I'm not sure if it was while Eddie was, I forget who exactly was playing at the time, but a couple bicycle cops roll over, maybe like 50 feet from where we're hanging out at a little patch of trees. We got an easy up kind of in. It was, we were originally trying to start at the Diversity Chevron, but the generator we were using was entirely too loud to do something there. It was just way too many people. Everyone, right when we turned the generator on, just started kind of giving us nasty looks and getting all pissed at us. So we were like, all right, let's just be respectful, move it down the path a little bit. So the Chevron sculpture we've like to throw a few of our shows at, and kind of where we use a lot of that logo. It's that kind of blue.
That's what that's called, the blue iconic.
Yeah, the Chevron sculpture.
Yeah,
so it's a sculpture that this guy made originally, and I want to say it was off Webster Avenue in Lincoln Park. He built it in his backyard.
I have his name. Hold on.
Yeah.
I took a picture of it when we were there on Saturday.
It's sick. This guy built this structure pretty much in his backyard.
Necklace right here.
Neighbor, he's Spencer. That's put it on the camera. Get the close. The fucking he pretty much built this giant structure in his backyard. Cool ass art piece poking out of, like, he had a brick wall kind of surrounding his house. If you like poking out of there, there's pictures of it on the internet if you want to look it up. Just like
his name's John Henry, and he had a sponsor from John Novak, and it was the 15th annual sculpture exhibit.
Shouts out to John Henry, because I mean, goddamn,
he made a 43 large-scale sculptures on display as a part of the Chicago Sculpture Exhibit. All sculptures in the exhibit are available for purchase at the conclusion of the show in the spring of 2017. Oh, so we can buy it? No, I don't know.
So
I don't think we can buy it.
That dude had it in his ear. That was like, I don't know, like 50 feet tall. So this like obnoxiously large object just in a residential area, and
bunch of NIMBYs had to go man, we don't want this shit. Fuck that.
What's
we don't want
NIMBY?
culture. Yeah. Not in my backyard is what NIMBY stands for. It's a bunch of old fucks that don't like people doing anything cool or fun, building any developments that would actually provide proper housing for people in areas. They're just generally the people that'll say, if you're trying to do anything, they're going to jam you up zoning wise, going to jam you up with the city council, alderman, anything they can do to just kind of stop you from
But
generally,
if you get into philosophical talk about them, about the issues, they will be on your side.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
It's like, we need more housing. We need more.
Well, some of them.
Free parties.
You know, not a lot of them will say
not
exactly. A lot of them will be like, "Hell,
but not in my backyard."
Exactly. Yeah.
True.
Do you end up getting into conversation with a lot of these guys because they'll like kind of be walking around like checking it out? Like,
definitely had
a few. There's been one guy who came up with a. What did he have on? He had a NRA hat. Yeah,
that was when I was setting up like
15,
last year at the Chevron, first one we did.
60s, 70s, probably 70s or 80s, honestly. Comes up with his NRA hat, starts screaming, "Turn this music the fuck off! And who the fuck gave you permission to do all this?" Blah, blah, blah.
Whose speakers are these? He was looking at me. I was setting up, and then Jackson, it was like, and he's like, "Whose speakers are these?" Like, Kiefer and Kai were like just getting done, and I was like, "I don't know whose speakers they are. I don't know." And then he like was bothering me. I was trying to set this like little thing I built up.
Shouts out Susie Q.
And again, this guy's like coming up talking to me, and then like after the second time, he's like, "Well, whose speakers are these? Like, turn this shit down." And I was like, "All right." And I just like made the motion. I turned it down like a hair for a second, and then Jack came up. He's like, "Yeah, what's going on?" He's like, "You need to turn this down. Turn this the fuck down." He's like, "No, you could just like go away." And he's like, "Turn the fuck down. I'll call the cops right now."
30 feet over that.
He's like, "All right, well, do it." I turn it down. He like walks around to this other bench, I turn it back up, and he like sits at the bench for like the next 3 hours.
Good 3 hours or
yeah,
so.
He was enjoying the music.
Hopping on the phone, everyone. Like, he turned around on it all. He said,
the cops pulled up in like a boat, like like 40 minutes later too, and they were like checking out. They're like, whatever.
Boat peas, dude.
Boat police.
They don't have
Shouts out to Arrested Development.
They don't have terrestrial
They're buoyant, but,
jurisdiction.
no jurisdiction.
So-
International waters, baby.
So a couple questions. This is like a two-parter. Like, have you guys been shut down? And also, what is the legality? What is the DBSPL level that you can go?
Lake Effect has operated under the full legal withstandings of Chicago law entirely. We've never broken the law once. We have been under the permission of every alderman in their jurisdiction. We have paid off everyone we need to. Besides that, that's all good. We've done nothing outside of Chicago's laws or codes. And
I think
We only drink
because of
water
that-
at the events.
we only drink water. We do not endorse alcoholic beverages.
Even
Any
sugar
type
we
of-
frown upon.
Yeah,
You know,
say water.
keep it
fruits, and
safe,
veggies.
keep it
That's
clean.
about it.
You know, that
Keep it
includes
moving.
no sugar.
Yeah. Knock on wood.
Not even
been
natural
shut down
sugar.
yet. Though. Nah, but yeah, we haven't luckily been.
I believe.
Well, we've been shut
What
down.
the like Montrose like 2022 kind of by
It's
like the
dusk.
by the
Here's
park
the thing:
close
is like
time.
it's like
By the park
it's like
close time.
1:30 or 2 a.m. and the
Right.
cops are making their rounds on the lakefront. They just do this for anybody who's sitting out there, because people just start falling in there when they're all hammered and stuff like that. It's a common occurrence, sadly.
Park closes at 11. so
Yeah,
Park
11.
just-
Around midnight, 1, they start making the rounds of just driving up and down the lakefront.
Yeah.
All they've really done is just shine their flashlights at us and be like, they haven't even said anything really. They just shine their flashlights,
Pack
sit
up.
there,
Like, we're packing
and then
up.
we're just immediately turn the music off, start packing up, get the fuck out of there. As long as you're respectful about it and don't go like, fuck you.
They have like an automated like thing for it too. Like park is closed.
Yeah.
You must leave.
Oh, they just
yeah.
Pretty
they just
dystopian.
say
Yeah.
that from the car.
Yeah,
it's like,
and it's
you
not
have to
them
leave.
talking. It's a little just like, boom.
Yeah, they have a dedicated
recording.
They got an
Some
NPC
guy.
in there loaded up with samples.
They got the
boom,
samples.
park is-
Park.
They just start DJing. Like, you're just like, what the fuck?
I've seen an online trending video of that. A viral
really?
video, as the kids say, of a cop DJing. It's like,
They just got the DJS, like
Yeah.
the sampler. CD
I thought it was a
in there, like,
Steam Deck that they have installed in their
What's
design
it?
console.
probably
Or a
pork
Stream
deck.
Deck, I mean, a Stream Deck.
Steam
I knew what you
Deck,
meant.
Stream.
I know what you
Oh,
meant. Got
like
one right
the little
here.
thing, like the yeah. With the, with
But
the
like
LEDs.
technically speaking, I believe anything over 80 decibels and over 50 people is when it's like you need to have a permit type.
80s
thing.
I didn't
almost like
remember
ambient noise.
I didn't
Yeah,
remember.
80 is
I didn't
quiet.
remember an SPL thing.
I don't
I
know.
knew
Oh,
it was like
it's 80
50 people.
It's 80 or 100 from like
gotta be
100 feet away.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Like you have a
And, like,
100-foot
we've
radius.
never
Radius
done
is
that.
important, so you know,
not
it's
that
a
we've
whole.
never
It's a
hit
whole
that.
diameter.
It's a
not just-
it's a diameter.
you
It's
know.
a circumference thing.
It's
you know.
like pi squared.
Knights of the Round Table.
yeah.
But
But yeah, thankfully we've never been shut down.
yeah, we've
And the
never
cops
had like
are-
any conversation with police
proper-
yet.
They've never
Actually,
been like, we're gonna
one-
take your shit.
Dude,
like,
dude comes up.
Actually,
dude comes up in
fucking
slackline.
really
On the-
you know, like
on the-
they
that
they
was the
come and
thing.
hang
I
out.
forgot to finish that story.
Yeah,
July
exactly.
4th.
I figured that's where you were going with it.
Finish that, and then I got a point about the cops.
They
That's a
came
funny.
over. They came over to our while we were set up a little bit farther from the Chevron. We got sidetracked on the Chevron. Originally set up on the Chevron. Bunch of people there said, "All right, fuck it, let's move about a couple hundred feet up the north up the lakeshore." We go up there, set up, have it cooking for a few hours. Cops start walking over. Our boy, I think Dane is playing Darkhurst. Shout out Darkhurst. Look him up on everything.
DEFCON 1.
DEFCON 1. Shouts out DEFCON 1.
Peoria.
Peoria, shouts out. Shouts out Peoria, love Peoria. Fucking cops walk up. We're like, oh shit, the bike cops are rolling. Are those bicycle cops? They roll up, hit the kickstands, get off,
hit
start
the
walking around.
kickstands.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Walk a beat. They go, what's going on here? Start moseying on over to the slack line. Dude kicks his shoe. I don't even think he kicks his shoe. I don't remember if he kicks his shoes off. But
He gave his partner like his gun and his like.
yeah,
you know,
he's like, here's all the shit where if I fall, it might fucking explode.
Starts doing the slack line.
Hops up on the slack line and does it. And this wasn't that far after a lot of the protests and stuff like that. And a lot of the crowd just starts cheering him and everything. And then happened to ACAB, huh, guys? Come on. Even though they're partying. I mean, it was cool. They were fun. They were,
Yeah,
you know?
literally only if it's like after dusk, then then it's not a problem. They're just like, you're packing up, right?
Yeah.
So there was a meter maid at the Function 1-1. Like, the meter maids had never come out really at Montrose, except at that one, and they started to after that one. I was running to the bathroom. A meter maid comes by. I didn't pay for the parking because I'm a law-abiding citizen, but not that day. And so I'm like, I see the meter maid there, and I'm running to the bathroom, and I was like, wait, I'll pay for the parking. He's like, why didn't you already pay for the parking? I was like, I have to run to the bathroom, but I got you. And I come out, and he's like, why didn't you pay for the parking? I was like, I was playing music. He's like, oh, you're a DJ? Oh, I won't give you a ticket then. I was like, oh, okay. And then he had already given a ticket to my car, so he moved on. Well, he didn't put the ticket on my car. He moved on to Dana's car, and so he thought my car was Dana's car, so he didn't give Dana a ticket, and then I actually ended up getting a ticket for there. But that was like one of the only experiences that I had talking to the cops like last year.
Yeah, they're pretty on top of the parking over there.
Yeah.
At the
parking.
But they don't.
Parking
But
at the
That's where the money
But if
is,
you're
you know?
DJing,
It's like the money,
know.
they're making stacks on the parking.
Oh my God, yeah.
Busting us up is like what?
every
They're gonna
car's
have a little bit of-
$50.
They have a
if
little
you
bit of
don't have
music
it.
equipment that's just gonna take up storage, and then fucking like.
Yeah.
Then they got to write a bunch of paperwork when they could just issue a bunch of $50 tickets.
Yeah.
Like there's hold so many cars.
It's not ours, so
Plus,
It's not.
it's
All
not
right.
right. No, that's terrible.
That's yeah.
D, if your shit ever gets taken, we got you. Don't
Yeah.
worry.
Full replacement. Full everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're getting down into the nitty gritty. What I got a few questions here. How frequently are you guys doing shows, and also seasonal? Like, I know we're hitting the summertime shy, which is the shit. You know, if you're
Absolute best.
you know, but what does it look like for this summer, and then what does it look like when it's not summer?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this summer we've had a little bit of a slow start. Honestly, last year I feel like we'd been kicking it off a bit more by this time, but this summer has just been busy for kind of everybody involved in the crew. So we had a nice kind of kickoff one. When was that? Late May?
420.
Was that 420
Yeah,
under
it
the
was
bridge?
420. We didn't do
God
anything
damn.
in May. Yeah.
That was 420. Wow. Time flies. So 420 we did our first kind of
Soft launch.
soft launch of the year. We did it under there's a bridge on Belmont and Campbell, pretty much, kind of by like Belmont and Western, right along the river. Under there's a nice little bridge spot that I think we'll probably do some more at this year for sure. We did one to start off there. We did one this Saturday. Jim and I didn't even make it out, but fellas threw together a nice little lakefront at the Chevron, but sadly just the weather was not cooperating too much with us. So,
Rained out,
Yeah.
winded out.
Got a little rained out. We had some troopers out there. Shot the
shout
fuck
out.
out.
Still had some star players that
Yeah,
came
saw some
through that
star
were like
players.
out
Shout
there
out to
that
the heads.
hadn't
That was,
made it out to one. They were like, I've been trying to make it out to one. I'm like, wow, okay,
That was really cool.
yeah.
That was
Yeah.
super cool, actually, to have people outside, like
Weathering the
the
storm.
worst.
Like so windy, like you can't even
lakeside.
breathe. It's like the wind is just coming at you. So
No, that's some
Lucas
humbling.
is
That's
like-
some humbling shit to
Yeah.
have some people pop through and be like, rain or shine, whatever. We're here
Yeah.
for a good.
Oh, they were comfy. They were comfy. I mean, they were more organized than we were.
Yeah, you
so.
said they popped up there.
they had tents that weren't flying around.
Yeah. Me and
Dab
Lucas
rig
were
and
like
everything.
trying to get because the pop-ups, like they're shade. They're not for like element
Were
protection.
you like
really.
in the
Yeah.
middle of the Chevron too?
No, well, we tried it. We kept pulling it back because it was like the rain
'Cause-
kept getting in.
Yeah.
That turns into a wind tunnel.
Oh, it
Oh
does.
yeah, it's
horrid,
so it
dude.
was that was the
horrid.
worst wind in there. Like
Yep.
outside it was fine, but like in there when you're trying to DJ and then the rain's coming in and then we have like the tarp and like
Lucas is, like,
me
holding
and
the
I was
tarp.
playing a couple tracks and then Lucas was playing a couple tracks. Eddie went to get food and then Eddie came back and for like a half hour I was like, where's the food? I'm so hungry right now. And then Lucas is trying to. He's like, what are you doing? Like, is Lucas okay? Like
I start to feel rain and I start running because I'm like, oh my god, it's actually raining now. And yeah, I get back and Lucas is like holding
a
the tarp
shipwreck moment.
above the CDJs, DJing and like wiping puddles off of the decks.
I luckily had a towel for him.
Yeah, and it was started. That's when we were starting to be like, okay, like maybe not.
Maybe not.
Another like hour after
the
that.
absolute
Though.
last moment. Where
Yeah.
you're like, there's puddles on the decks. You should probably stop.
Yeah. Well, we had to wait until it
Yeah.
actually chilled out again
To, like,
load
back
out.
it
So we
up,
ended up like
yeah.
it probably went on like another hour. It was actually fun. We like set up the canopy like at an angle
Nice.
in front, and then like a couple of our friends came and like sat down like right in front of the speakers, and like we turned it down a little bit, and it was fun. It was
Intimate
cute.
set.
Yeah, a little intimate
Oh,
set. Yeah.
So yeah, you got to deal with the elements outside.
Yeah.
Obviously, you got people, you got the police, you got rain or shine. Obviously, if it's snowing, have you done anything where it's like cold enough where it's almost gonna snow?
It sure
The
felt
420, the 421, like it didn't feel like it was gonna snow, but man, it got so cold, and there was still a decent amount of people out there for how cold it was.
Yeah.
We had another one at Montrose that was really cold too. I'm trying to remember what that one was before the function one.
Yeah.
But no,
that's
nothing's
right.
snowing. No
Luckily,
snowing.
No
nothing's
snow yet.
snowing.
No snowing yet. Probably never. Hopefully never with that.
No, typically, like, we just unanimously decide without even speaking about it that after a certain point in the season, it's not. We'll do stuff indoors. Like we've had a few shows at Clipper, and that's
California Clipper shouts out.
California
Yeah,
Clipper.
Clipper.
Shouts out,
Yep,
Jesse.
yep.
Shout out
California
Clipper, shout out Jesse.
So
Shout out
Area
the
Man.
mezcal soda they got on their menu.
And every year prior was like true pop-up fashion. Like we never had a schedule of any sort. Like it was literally like, hey, how's everyone's schedule next week or the week after? And somehow just miraculously worked out that way. I'm like, yeah.
We like
Maybe
got everything together.
one or two people would be missing, but like it just worked out. And this is the year that we actually like created a schedule and like tried to be
Decided
like
to
Got
super on
organized?
top of it.
Nice.
Trying.
Yeah, it's important. No, yeah, for sure.
Other stuff we'll be like talk about a schedule, and we'll talk about like 3 dates, and then other stuff like the day after we have a talk on the phone, like other indoor
wait,
stuff.
we got this, we got
other
this,
indoor
we
stuff.
got
We'll
this.
just probably, hey, you want to do this? It's like, sure, yeah.
Yeah, I think frequency-wise, like back to the original question there. I think we did about 2 a month between May and September last year, and it was
say
kind
about
of just
that.
like week ahead decide.
Yeah.
And this year, we're pretty much like 2 a month as well, but we're doing like 1 outdoor a month and 1 indoor a month right now. So
I think we should. Hopefully, July we should have 2 outdoors.
there's a chance we do
I think
2
we could
outdoors in
do.
July.
We could wrap the ends of July, like beginning and end of July.
Yeah. Well, we have a collab. Like an outdoor in July is kind of it's not a collab. It's made like a Airy DJ Scary, who's
Shouts out DJ Scary.
Yeah, shout out DJ Scary is kind of in the inner crew. She has like a curated one that's focused on like
14th?
women and like queer DJs and stuff. So yeah, July 14th for that.
Femmes and Thems.
Femmes and Thems.
Shouts out.
Yep. Maybe we'll do another one that month too.
I think
Yeah,
we're
either.
maybe July 6th. We'll see.
Yeah.
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 We'll kind of play the other one by ear, but June 21st coming up here.
Yep.
Got a nice little indoor. Shouts out to Jerry over here. Goddamn, hooking us up.
Bro, you guys got it. So yeah, I mean, I got a lot of other questions about the inner workings, but
Yeah.
you know, since it was brought up, you know, you guys are going to be doing a show at the Epiphany Center, and you know, obviously we wanted to use this to promote it. So, what's going to be going down there?
Breakbeats and benevolence. B2Bs.
Yeah, we got a lineup of some residents,
Heavy
associates, and friends.
Yeah. Absolute mad lads.
Yep, playing in the basement.
So starting off, we got Mithra and I. We fresh off the old Tipper and Friends rendezvous fucking run. We're doing a nice little It's and Friends Rendezvous. We got a nice little, I think we're gonna start off trip hop, kind of move into some mid-tempo and dub techno, like slow breaky stuff to begin with, into our buddy here, fucking Jimbo Rim Jickles, shout the fuck out, aka Rim King. We got him
Rim King.
Rim King.
Don't record that.
Rim King.
Rim King.
On 3.
What you got for the people?
Well, everybody
what
say
you got
Rim
for the
King,
people on June 21st, Rim King?
I'm a fan of just diving through different genres and not staying in anything
Oh yeah.
throughout a whole hour. So I'm getting a little outside of my comfort zone and playing a lot of tracks that I'm basically just stumbling upon. A lot of techno sort of vibes. I will obviously play things within my realm, like halftime drum and bass sort of style. But yeah, a lot of like just darker, harder stuff that I'm usually more comfortable with playing.
Jim is the best DJ in the crew.
Probably for sure.
He
1000%.
might not admit it or not, but yeah,
Easily best DJ in the
easily
crew.
the best DJ in the crew.
Yeah.
So,
That's so kind.
when
Thank you guys
when
so
he
much.
says whatever I want, it'll be very cool.
It'll be sick. It's a good time. It'll be a
cool.
journey through sound.
Yeah.
Journey through
It could be
These
an
hot
ASMR
cues.
set. You'll still like it. You know, it'll be like,
Get ready for a hot cue workout.
Ooh. And something I'll say is that it's going to be in the
catacomb.
catacombs
With the
at
lit
the
pillars.
Epiphany Center, which I have not experienced a show in there, but I am unfortunately not going to be there too.
Damn. Hey,
Yeah,
happens.
I know. I'm actually depressed because I really want to see this, but it's going to be in
Shouts
the
the fuck out for
catacombs.
facilitating though. Holy hell.
Yeah.
Bro,
Yeah.
of course.
I seen
Yeah.
a show there. It's cool.
Yeah, Spencer's been there. He
I
says
saw
it's cool.
Makoto there.
Nice.
I think it was like DMBID show
Nice.
Okay.
back in February. Yeah.
All the pictures look insane. Yeah, we haven't really done a site
pretty
visit or
open.
anything, but it's like looks great. Drew's been amazing. Just now, everybody that works there has been awesome. Just
Shout out
to work
Epiphany.
with. Yeah, Epiphany's been
Yeah.
really cool.
It's cool. I hear I'll be listening to like WDCB, like the jazz station. So there'll be like bands that do stuff there, and then I'll hear like Epiphany Arts Center, blah blah blah. So it's like
They do a variety of shit.
Yeah.
They do a lot of stuff. I'm trying to get electronic music in there.
Yeah.
And I know that they have done some, but we need more.
Yeah.
Hell
you know.
yeah.
Like the
Cheers to that.
So-
Heavensware parties are there and stuff, I think.
Yeah.
A lot of the hardware stuff goes down there.
Nice.
They've done some like
Is that more
Techno
basement
stuff
though?
up-
Because like it's
I don't know if it's in the
They do
basement
the-
or upstairs.
I've seen a
It's
lot
at
of techno
Epiphany, though.
stuff up in the
I figured it'd
upstairs.
be more like band stuff upstairs, just
Yeah.
based on the acoustics
Probably.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's downstairs, but I don't know because I've never been.
It's a cool venue,
Yeah,
but
I didn't even know about it until you gave this to us.
Yeah. No, it's just like it's a church that was, made into a venue that has like a bunch of different
I didn't know it was a church.
venues
That's cool.
inside. Yeah.
It's
All
a good. It's a good use case, like to turn around a church. Sorry, religious people. But,
They did good. Yeah, but they put the
Hate
bar
religion,
in there.
love a fucking
does
church.
the-
love a venue. Love
a
some good
church,
stained
hate
glass.
religion.
You know.
Yeah, goddamn. They can build a cool testament to God.
Does the
but fuck
tax
that God.
does the tax free element get grandfathered in?
I don't think so, unfortunately.
For this show, it might.
Bummer.
Yeah. But yeah, no, so you guys, you got some spots that you work at when you're not doing outside gigs. Obviously, if you lived somewhere like California, you could do outside gigs a long time. But Chicago, it's kind of cold.
I
yeah,
personally
it's a summer.
would like to do maybe like. It's gonna take a little convincing probably to get everybody to do like maybe one winter one or something
Ice
under a
sculpture
bridge.
festival.
Ooh,
I'm
that'd be
saying
cool.
where it's like
No, we should
there's-
do
there's
one like
no,
snowboarding, like the
There's
Red
no
Bull stuff
bad
that they
winter.
do.
There's
Like
just
up at
there's no bad weather.
out
Just
cold
bad
themed.
preparation or whatever. You
Have
know?
like
just
a,
bundle up effect. It's
like
it'd be fun.
a snowman making contest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have like
Like,
fires going and stuff. I think we can.
We can make the
Oh.
best snow bong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, or like you could supply like
Tobacco
hot
use only.
cocoa, some hot cider, do like the Kris Kringle market. I don't know.
There
I
you
think that's
go.
how you
Some
say
glue
it.
wine or whatever.
Chris Kindle.
Chris Kindle.
Kris
Yeah, I
Kindle,
call
yeah.
it.
Glue
I always
wine.
call it wrong.
Yo, the Chris Kindle Mart pop up. Just pull up the sound box on the middle
Yeah,
of Chris
glue
Kindle.
on.
Just want some gingerbread,
I a DJ set to win back the mountain.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, snowball fight.
Yeah. With the day glow.
Saving the youth center.
King of the Hill, snowball style.
That'd be cool. I would go for the challenge of it.
Yeah. I mean, if you're prepared for it, like if
That's
we could
what I
do a
think,
fire and you actually wore real clothes, it
Yeah.
wouldn't be too bad.
I think we could pull something off, especially like maybe November, December, when everybody's still a little like not just fucking beaten down by the winter all year. You know, I feel like when it's still like holiday season, everybody's like, ooh, we're outside. We're, you know, exactly.
There's a good sweet spot where we don't have to deal with ice and snow.
Exactly.
Like
Like
that's the
December
biggest thing with
snows are
loading
very
it.
like they're fun. You don't have the gray
it's the
slush
first
everywhere.
time, yeah.
it's
like
light and fluffy.
yeah, it's all cool. I feel like we could pull something.
I don't
off
want
maybe
to deal
then.
with like loading in and unloading with
gray
ice.
slush.
and
Yeah,
ice
that
and
sounds-
black
Fuck
ice.
that.
And,
We would do somewhere where it's like we pull up, move the speakers like 5 feet, and then
But
fucking
leave the
chill.
speakers in the car.
Yeah.
And just pull the car up and just the doors open. You know,
Hey, not
ready
bad.
to go,
Not bad.
ready to unload.
That would be great.
Out the
Generator
get-go.
in the car.
Close the doors and the windows
In the cab.
and the air condition.
We
Let
throw
it go.
our least favorite DJs in there. Buddy, you can finally
Well,
play.
Jim's
us out.
safe in that case. He was like, "I'm the best DJ." You guys
Yeah.
heard it's on
I said he's the
record.
best, not our favorite.
Oh, okay.
Shots. Oh man. All right. So we're gonna go back to some logistical stuff. What does everyone do? Do we have specific roles for people? Is it just like you all kind of show up and start doing stuff? What do we need help with?
Little bit.
Yeah, I would say there's like undefined roles. We've gone through some membership changes in the last year, so things have like shifted a little. But yeah, for the most part, people tend to gravitate towards certain jobs. It's not like there's a whole lot to do either.
Yeah, it's like
Just gotta set up.
I feel like
Yeah.
setup is kind of like as far as like graphic design, Spencer
Oh,
fucking
that's a good
kills
point.
the entire like curation of our visual aesthetic is Spencer.
That's the only
pretty much.
assigned job, I guess. Yeah.
pretty much.
It's
yeah.
like he's the crew fucking like
Yep.
chief of doing all that shit, man. So
Yep.
good.
Yep.
It's insane.
And Molly's been helping out with the like anytime
Molly's
you see
been-
it, you could tell Molly's illustration style too.
Yeah.
Because like I've drawn stuff before, but I haven't like done it on flyers and whatnot. But
Yeah.
But,
hopefully we'll get some more collabs cooking with the label side of things. I feel like between Spencer and Molly, kind of. I think what we've been wanting to do is get a nice visual aesthetic for just the label, kind of centered out, and where we have almost a template for everyone, and then be able to interlay some of like her artwork. My sister Molly, she goes by Art in My Socks on Instagram. Check it out.
Shout out.
Follow, subscribe. Like, you know, all that stuff. Hit that subscribe button down below, folks.
Doom scroll.
Poducer, Doom Scroll
Yeah,
more.
hit it.
Oh yeah, all right, but yeah, she's done a lot of my artwork throughout the years, and then I feel like we can just kind of all grow together and make a cool visual aesthetic that throughout the years can kind of evolve and just become something consistent, but also changing, you know, a little bit.
So the Chevron tower or whatever we call it, that thing, is that the logo?
I'd say almost
at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, at this point.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
We have like a character too, I guess.
Yeah.
it's more of a motif.
the character was
I'd say
kind
it's more of a motif than a
Yeah.
logo. You
That's
know?
good.
Okay.
it
That's
It is-
probably a good way to put it.
is very.
I've just seen the silhouette of it.
yeah.
Probably,
The
honestly,
silhouette
at
is
this
a very.
point, just
str-
make it the logo.
I mean,
like fuck it.
We decided that
Choice-
right now.
Choices right now. No. I'm just kidding.
Quick team meeting.
Quick team. But
Oh,
No,
I
it's
think,
like-
a lot.
I
Of
feel like it's
people-
more for our event side of things.
No, a lot.
yeah,
okay.
yeah. We
Okay.
kind of.
It's like
A lot of people have definitely come to recognize that figure with what we do as well. So it's like
it would make sense for us to make a merch line where we do a polo shirt and have that just as the polo.
It looks
logo.
very polo.
It does.
Yeah,
Like,
it
you
does.
You see that embroidered on
the
a shirt, and you're like,
embroidery?
Salmon
like,
pink.
I mean, it says more
You got
like
the right idea.
it's almost like it's like
Partner with
yeah, it
Chubbies.
kind of represents us. Do we like use it as a symbol? Yeah, but I
My
don't know.
whole
It's kind of
thing
one
is-
of those
I don't know if
logos
it's
where it's just kind of like,
Yeah,
what's
the
up?
copyright.
I don't know.
What's up? No, I mean like, well, not really. Like you own the intellectual property, the sculpture. You know what I mean? Like so, like for example, like the Polo logo was probably somebody riding a horse. You know,
Yeah, and it wasn't that guy. Yeah, true.
right. So
Right.
I mean,
Drawing of a picture.
so it's like the IP starts when you're like, you know, like you put the work in, and it's not like
You made the
It's
vector.
from
Yeah.
the angle that it
Yeah.
is. I mean, there's so many ways to
your
look at it. From
interpretation,
underneath
your
it,
picture,
from
your
under the
vector,
side.
yeah.
Exactly. You take
Yeah.
a picture of
Your
it.
interpretation
it's like
of it.
that picture. If you try and make another sculpture of it, like word for word, or you know, frame for frame,
Same shade
and stuff
of
like
blue.
that. It's like, I mean, at that point too, it's kind of like, it's like a cover song. You know?
Also, what if they get rid of it at some point? You know what I mean? And then you're just tied to this thing, and they're just like, well, yeah,
We're finding
we
it.
moved it. Yeah,
getting it.
Yeah. Also,
Yes, in my
Loading up
backyard.
the
I'm joining that
van.
auction. I'm joining that auction.
Yeah, we need
You guys are
one of
buying.
those open workspaces, like
We're gonna uproot
open
that thing
offices, and we just put that at the center, like at the bottom of the stairs, and then we just have like a collaborative
One of those bad boys in the
workspace.
middle of an embassy suites.
Like a there's like a waterfall going on behind it, and then the chevron's like in a fountain.
Yeah,
you know?
that's gonna be late stage lake
bunch of
effect. When we're
nasty
in our
green water.
we're in our Margaritaville phase of like
Yeah,
Jimmy
yeah,
Buffett
yeah.
shit. We're making resorts.
How do we
Just
get this-
have chevron
Nice.
How do we get this
I
to
hope that
Palm
happens.
Springs?
Yeah.
But I mean, so like other people have done shows there. I saw.
Oh, yeah.
I saw that.
Especially
or
after.
shows, like I could say, but like I saw that Sudden Death played there for
Yeah.
Redline.
I knew this
Oh
was
yeah.
gonna come.
And
That
For the
Monday.
for the unemployed.
Do you guys have
7
competition? Do you
a.m.
guys?
I did not know there was gonna.
So Redline with the Redline or just cruise in general?
No. I'm not. Yeah, like I'm not saying you have to call anybody specific out here,
Call
but
out
like.
Redline.
I don't. We don't.
Well,
I
hold
mean,
on.
we don't
People
have.
don't fuck
we don't
with
have
it,
competition because we're in kind of like two different lanes.
Yeah, we're
You
in
know,
our own lane.
We're doing free
Yeah.
parties.
Do you, I
We
guess
don't
part
own-
of the question is, do you feel the competition? Not that
Well,
Not
they're-
at all.
Nah.
Oh.
No,
Nah.
no. Well,
We're not going for their crowd.
we don't own the Chevron.
No,
We don't own that spot. We don't
This is
we
all
don't own
public
any of the
parks
public
and
spots.
spaces.
We are happy to share with any of them.
Yeah.
We do appreciate people who respect underground DIY
And the space around
values and the space around
them,
them.
and not tagging garbage cans or the Chevron
And
or
not
other
making a mess
underground
and-
spaces that I've heard of. So you know who you are.
Chevron.
But
Surrounding.
No competition. We don't feel
Yeah,
any
no
competition with
competition.
anybody.
It's
we feel
like, nah.
friendly community, and we're happy to share spots.
There's enough. Rising tide fucking raises all ships. You know, it's like the fact. It just makes. Whenever I see another pop up happening, it just establishes that this is just a cool thing that happens in Chicago, and
Yep.
it's like we're
Yeah.
one of the voices that's in this mix of like a cool fucking scene that's just out here
Yep.
because it's not something that like happens everywhere. You know,
Yeah.
there's not everywhere you can just walk around and find non-permit parties kind of fucking just happening
Yeah.
and stuff like that. It's like if you go around, you'll just start seeing like random people speakers. We've seen dudes on fucking like Jackson Park just playing like soul records in the middle of a fucking like parking lot to like just their friends hanging out
Yeah.
and like just setting up like that where it's like, and they're all in their like 40s, probably like 30s, 40s and stuff like that. Just like
I mean, they probably,
They crew-
it might be like
Just like a meetup.
classic. Well,
Yeah.
they might be like classic old school,
1000%.
like Chicago house DJs.
Literally.
There's like legends
Yeah.
that live on the south side
Hollywood
that
Beach, they
don't
throw a bunch-
play
they throw a
anymore,
bunch of
but they
stuff on
pop
Hollywood
up
Beach.
in
Yeah.
lots and backyards down there.
Does
all
anybody
the time.
know where there used to be DJs that would play at the Daily Center like during lunch for like
They
all-
still
for
do
all the
that.
They
cities?
did that. They did it a
Who
couple
does
weeks
that?
ago.
Who runs that?
It's like I don't know who runs it. It's I've like ran across it randomly a few times,
Yeah.
just like at work and stuff. It's
Shit's
fun,
a
yeah.
vibe.
The
dude.
one
I'm just
that-
like, I'm just curious if it's like
I think it's the city. that's it
actually
on. Yeah.
really. Yeah.
Well, like it was like a couple weeks
I'm
ago
sure
when they
there's
did
a-
Derek and DJ Heather. It was like kind of like a
Chicago
It was
House
like
Music
pseudo arc,
Festival.
like with arc. It was like a arc kind of
That
like
one was ARC
pre-thing.
sponsored.
Yeah.
But usually, I think it's probably the people who do Chicago House Music Festival. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
I have no clue, but
Yeah.
they've been doing that since probably they've been doing that forever. I mean,
Right,
It's
Like
Yeah.
probably like the
Years.
21st or the State Street parade or whatever. The State
Oh,
Street
Sundays on
dance.
State?
Yeah, Sundays on State. Yeah.
I've still never even met.
Yeah.
I think they're doing one or two of those this year.
Freak
That'd be
Easy
cool.
was collabing with.
Yeah, they had
Easy
functions
did do
on
it,
there. Yeah, they
Yeah,
brought the sub.
they were
stuff
doing that,
out there.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So yeah, I mean, there's a lot. We know that we're part of a community, and
And the city, it's cool to see the city does value like public parties like that. You know,
Yeah.
they do put like, there are an abundance of street fests and just like, outdoor activities like that. So it is cool to see.
And people popping up sound systems.
Yeah.
You know, you go to Humboldt Park and there's like Humboldt Arboreal
Oh.
Society, but like,
Shouts out.
I mean, there's people just like in their cars with, you know,
Sundays
two
in Humboldt
PAs
Park,
and-
just any Sunday of the week.
Yeah.
It's fucking
Yeah.
any Sunday of the year. It's just like, especially the summertime. It's a fun time, you know.
Yep.
There's dances going on, just anything.
It's kind of
the West.
a Chicago tradition at this point
Yeah.
to just pull up speakers into the park during the summer and
It's great.
People
and I
do
mean,
that in
yeah,
Detroit
we're
a lot,
not
too.
Yeah, we're like, oh yeah, Detroit's
Like,
like
it's, like,
very that,
very
especially
that.
warehouses too. They got a lot of spaces out there. I mean, y'all are just a movement. Y'all
Mm-hmm.
fucking know the whole vibe of that. That's nuts.
Midwest techno in general too. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, Minnesota,
Yeah,
Minneapolis is all on that.
Wisconsin people with their farms out there just setting up shit. Like Milwaukee, Jonah, fucking Headway, they've thrown a bunch of pop-ups and stuff. Shouts out Headway Hi-Fi. We're gonna try and collab with them this year in August. That'll be a cool one. They're a really nice sound system out of Milwaukee. I've loved the just kind of DIY sound system scene popping up out of the Midwest. Be cool to kind of get our blue lake effect speakers in there one day if we ever
nice.
make some. Yeah,
Be nice.
yeah.
But yeah, we don't compete.
No, not at all. It's like if we do have anything negative to say, usually just keep it between ourselves and have a little fun jabs at it. You know, that's what the hangs are for.
But it's never competition.
have a couple of drinks. No, not
It's
at all.
never like
No, I
it's
mean-
never
And
like
it's a
you're
help-
taking our
I mean,
territory.
last-
It's like you're
no.
doing it whack.
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
the-
like
you know, like-
your whackness will speak for itself if you're
Yeah.
whack
Right.
too. So it's
Like
I
last
don't have to say
year,
anything.
last year we did a collab with Super Schmoove, and the only
beautiful.
reason like why we want to stray away from doing certain collabs at this point is because we are not at a loss for DJs within our group at all. So, you know,
We know-
and we all
yeah,
love to play, you know. So it's just like
it's time you have to give up.
That's the
you
main
know?
thing, you know. So and we just like to enjoy ourselves. That's why we're out there. So just want to make sure that we all have fun.
Yeah, shouts out Super Schmoo.
But yeah, that was
Yeah. Shout out Gio.
regardless of that, like that was an
Circus
amazing time that we had.
That was a
on the
great
beach.
combo.
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah,
Foster Beach.
shout out
Day
Initial
Party
G.
played
that was
and
That was a fun.
Who
That
else?
was really fun.
uh
Day party.
yeah.
Valis
G
Madre.
plays.
That was
Gas
like
Madres,
that was like the second time I think the cops
Inspector.
came swooping over us
yeah,
with
the
a helicopter.
Yeah, the helicopter.
Wait, the
The
hell?
helicopter.
They just do
be
that.
flying
yeah,
over the
they
beach.
just do
Yeah.
that shit. I don't think it's for us.
It does feel. It's nice to think
But it's
that.
just like it throws everybody
Like fucking
off.
Henry
like,
Hill.
uh-oh.
You're like
Come on,
Henry Hill and Goodfellas.
Dude's like literally hanging out like
Hit the deck.
the door, like staring at us. Like, dude,
Like Coast Guard or like cops?
no, like Chicago, PD.
police.
Yeah. Okay.
During the busy days in the summer, they just fly over the.
yeah,
beaches,
it's
though.
like just
Yeah.
really low.
Yeah.
Really low though.
They
yeah.
buzz you guys or whatever they
Yeah,
call
pretty
it.
much.
Seriously,
Yeah.
Interesting.
it's like
Okay.
louder than the music. But yeah, not for us.
Yeah, was just curious. I'm always, interested in the etiquette of these things, whether it's DIY shows, whether it's DJing, whatnot. Speaking of etiquette, when you're posting and trying to get people to come out to a underground show, what's a good line? Because you could blow it out of the water in a bad way. I would assume you get too many people there.
So
It's
here's-
not.
Yeah,
Here's the
there's
thing.
a lot,
Luckily, I don't
lot
know
to
if
say on
any of
that.
us have enough traction to necessarily blow anything out of the water just by us
Yeah.
like posting a flyer or anything yet. So that kind of helps. Is like none of us have that traction just to start.
We don't like super post reels and stuff like that. There's
Yeah.
not a lot of stuff leading up. A lot of our stuff is just like we're dropping it, and there's control that you can do over that, like how soon you drop it to the day of the event and stuff like that, because by that time people are already going to be like either making plans or they've been waiting for it, so those people are free. But
Exactly. And it's like the max any of our accounts have is probably like 2,500 followers or something.
Yeah.
It's like,
Well, and I think it's easier like as a group to like maybe build something up, but I think you said it, like we don't do like reels or like anything after the fact. Like we don't
really like
promote
use
stuff.
TikTok or nothing like that, like
Right.
outside where you're just gonna have a bunch of people like, and the spaces that we use are like we haven't really like blown them up either,
Yeah.
both from a promotional standpoint or like post-mortem kind of like, oh, here's what we did, but like we'll post a story or
we
a couple
kept it all
the
kind of the
recap.
stories.
Yeah.
It's all
not
been, like,
super like grid
Yeah.
recap, like blah blah blah, like
Stories that
every
are
day,
gone in
stuff like
24
that.
hours.
And that is a conscious decision. Like that is something we have talked about and been like, yeah, we don't want to overdo this because of etiquette. like, you know, we don't own these spots, other people use these spots. I don't want to ruin Renegades for anybody. I don't want to ruin Renegades for any crew because we decided to build up a crazy following over a couple of years, like through, you know, very like strategic social media usage and trying to, you know, get big headliners up or what are all the million ways you can like grow. And yeah, we've tried to keep it kind of organic and loose for that purpose. For like, I mean, like etiquette is something we have talked about before.
Yeah. For the shows that are inside, like ticketed shows, is that a different thing where it's like
so part of me was kind of, I'm like, we also just, I don't think any of us are that great at social media in general where we're kind of posting stuff like that anyway. So it's like, for ticketed indoor shows, I think probably get a little bit better, kind of like throwing stuff out there, doing a little more of the promotion stuff, but
getting a little more media. And
a little media, probably like just stuff leading up to it. So I think for the Epiphany this next week or two, you know, get some like different little posts out there, but probably do recaps and stuff eventually.
Yeah.
Get it all cooking. It's a
get it all cooking. You know,
we haven't done a lot of indoor shows.
Yeah,
so like when we have done those, like we have promoted them like normally, I guess. We also try not to be spammy.
Yeah,
you know, everything I said was definitely like only considering the outdoor
for sure
Renegade stuff.
Would you say that if you could like only do outdoor shows, would you prefer to do that? Because that's kind of like what you were saying in the start, Jack, that it's like being on the vista of the city, it's like there's something special about that. Being at a venue is great sometimes, you know, depending on the vibe.
That conversation a little bit where we're like, because you know, you do take a little bit of energy out of the outdoor shows when you start doing these indoor stuff, and it's like you have a little less time to put planning and effort and just figuring. You got a bunch of plates spinning at the end of the day, and you're like, all right, you got all of us are working like 40 hours a week in general anyway, so.
Right.
We all got other shit on our minds daily. And then to throw like ticketed shows, you start adding a little stress of like, all right, we actually got to fucking sell tickets now and make this legit, make it actually a fucking cool thing. Adds a little bit of stress to it all. So there is a little bit of the, hey, maybe we just say fuck this and only do outdoor shows and kind of like that's our ethos. Then the winter rolls around and we got our thumb up our ass for like 3 months and we're like, well, we could do an indoor show here or something like that. So I think, we're going to start a little thing with Primary here, I think, in the coming months, where we have a monthly residency and do a shouts out to Ocean Swamp for kind of setting that up for us.
Nice.
So I think we should hopefully have a little monthly residency cooking with Primary. And I honestly would love, the idea of like only doing outdoor shows. But as you said, we don't live in California. We don't live somewhere where all year round you can kind of do that. And it would be fun to kind of bring our vibe into certain venues. And I feel like we do have a bit of something to say, something to, bring to the table as far as like our vibe and energy curation goes. As
I feel like it's
the
worth
landscape of the city, you know.
I feel like it's worth exploring. Like you throw shit at the wall and then see what feels good and all of that.
I like the seasonal idea. I like the seasonal concept of like, all right, we're trying. Like, I think we're doing some indoor shows in the summer this year. Like we did one or two. Like next year, focus on being like, all right, so outdoors in the spring and summer, and then like indoors
winter
and
fall,
like underground stuff.
October to like April, do winter stuff, or do indoor stuff.
Yeah,
one of the nice things about indoor, I mean, I think I am definitely more like I definitely, if I had to choose, it'd be like outdoor stuff. Yeah, that's where we started. But I mean, having indoor stuff is so nice because it's like so much less work.
It's controlled. it's everything's legal.
You're not worried about the weather.
You can't pull up.
It rains and it's an indoor show. People are still coming out.
But then, and I feel like
people
a lot of what we do have
potties
to bring to the table too, though, is just like
that.
At the end of the day, I was kind of saying that we were on the phone call last night, and I was like, I don't want to just be another club night at the end of the day, kind of, where you just kind of start getting into that same cycle of like, oh, we've just been doing the same thing in the same room for like forever, which can very easily happen. And it's like keeping it fresh and keeping our sound and our just whole ideas fresh throughout the time is, it's gonna be a learning process, something we all gotta figure out and see. Throughout the years, it'll probably change. I mean, I'm sure some years will just be like, hey, fuck all the indoor shows. Maybe we'll just do out, because I mean, we're all about to be living like our own lives throughout the next like 10 fucking 20 years of this shit. That's gonna be a very changing landscape over the time being. So we all got to be open to just, moving along with the changes of life. Everybody has different things going on. So it's all like, we all like to put a nice bunch of effort in it, but I don't want anybody to overextend themselves to a point where it's like, this doesn't become like a fun thing anymore either, per se.
Yeah.
It's like, you want to keep this something we're inspired by and like excited about too,
Yep.
Totally.
And the thing that we like think about, or like in the off season, or like, oh, I really want to get back to that feeling or something like that. You know what I mean? Don't want to take,
because it's magical, when we all get together, fucking throw one of those things and it all comes together nicely. There's nothing really like it. Man, it's just fun. Yeah. It's an absolute blast.
So tell me this, because this is something I think about with the podcast. It's like, there's ways to monetize and make money off of what you're doing, and that's all good. Go for it. Do it in a good way. But I also think about this being a vehicle to just network and meet people. And because you never know, you meet someone and then they're like, dude, you should come do this. And then you're like, okay, now I got a job doing something else or whatever. So do you guys have a similar perspective with the Lake Effect project, that it is kind of this thing that you like to do? It's a vehicle to meet people and just connect.
I think individually it'll help all of our music careers and stuff like that.
Kind of like a collective almost.
Yeah. I think I've seen that in like actuality though. I mean, like at the end of last season.
It's been happening.
No,
totally
like definitely with like once we collect, like even Dana was talking about it too before we did the collab with Super Smooth. He's like, what? Like, he'll put us like on a show or whatever after we like work with them, and then we worked with them, and then Initial Geo had me out for a show like at the beginning of this year and put Dana on a show and our other friend like Kiefer on a show. I mean, they knew each other before, and then I met some like other people and stuff like that at the end of the year, and
a lot of connections.
Especially at the end of last year.
I've gotten like work just from doing this. Like one of our buddies, Jack, is like, he has a little moving company. He's just come through and we've hung out at a few of these things, and I've posted like in the winter I do AV kind of like tech stuff for my day job. So the winter it'll slow down a bit. I'll be looking for side jobs, and then he's hit me up. Yeah, I do a little moving company if you ever need a little extra. So it's just like things like that.
You never know.
It's giant. Yeah,
definitely. Like you just do it for the love.
Yeah,
and like
do it for the right reasons.
Just things open up for you. Yeah, do it for the right reasons.
I think that was the main thing, is like it never started as like a monetizing sort of thing for us.
Still not.
It was literally just like, and still not. Like,
still not.
Like we're doing our first ticketed event, and
And honestly, just from the back end, I was like, oh, we'll do a free show, and they were like, we should do a ticketed event. You know what I mean? Like, you guys still wanted to do a free show. Yeah, I mean,
ticketed's fine too. I mean, $20, $15. At the end of the day, that's like $10 10 years ago. It's like
it's like $1 now.
Yeah, $20. That's a $5.
One time out the year.
It's a meal.
Exactly.
Single meal.
And it's my birthday a couple days before, so if you want to give me a birthday present, buy a ticket.
It's my birthday the 28th, so we got those June birthdays.
What are you, Cancer then?
Yeah, technically.
We're getting, all right. Hey, what's everybody's zodiac sign? Let's get to it. It's sun, moon.
Racism.
All that stuff.
Yeah, mumbo jumbo.
So another thing that I wanted to talk about was the charity aspect of your events.
Big time.
This is something that, I'm not super familiar with this, but I was told by Kai, shout out Kai, and you also told me that this was something you wanted to do at the Epiphany Center, and you were talking about the Gaza hotline thing. So what's like the ethos of that? Like, how did that kind of come into it? Was that there in the start?
Pretty much, it was just kind of like the whole thing with this was like, it's a horrible business model to kind of try and make money off of what we're doing and like do anything like that. So my whole thought process was, if we do kind of like a ticketed thing, or we do end up making some money, especially if like it's stuff we're not going to be putting like back into Lake Effect or anything per se, or if we all are kind of down just volunteering our time, it's fun, especially since we do just kind of leech off the resources of the Chicago community of just like showing up at parks and like standing in all this fucking like open areas. It's fun to just kind of give back. We've our first California Clippers show, we donated to Chime, like Chicago's Center for Music Education, and just stuff where it's like hopefully impacting the local community. We did a food drive at the last one.
That's actually why I brought up Garfield Park Conservatory last night, because just like you said, just kind of go out there and conserve resources. We're not really like, it's nice to feel like you're actually giving back outside of just throwing a party, So like doing something like, I thought like if we do something at Garfield Park, every admission there is always donation based. So like if we could do it, like even if we like, I'll pay out of pocket, just to have like some sort of like, everybody that enters has to donate, but like just to feed back to the community in like any sort of way that we can, whether it be like for the homeless, feeding them, or really just any way to, because like I said, monetization's never really been the main thing. It's just us having fun and
avoiding, just pure hedonism and
exactly.
And once again, like
easy to fall into
underground
that.
principles for the people.
Yeah.
Like actually do something that's helpful. And it like what I really like about it too is it like it like then attracts a certain kind of person to like come to your parties and stuff too. Like, it's just like all about that like ongoing conversation and feedback loop you have with the people who come to your stuff, and then the what you put on for them, and by saying like, hey, we're like giving food or we're donating,
just keeping like conversation going in the right direction, almost
right,
a little more conscious with it.
And even if you don't bring food, like they're gonna come and they're like, oh, that's really cool, like that's something you should do, and
it's something where it's easy enough. It doesn't take like a shit ton of extra work to kind of set up a table and just have people, like most people have a few extra canned goods laying around the house that they, everybody brings their lima beans or whatever. Maybe you go buy some nice stuff for the food pantry too. That's always a nice thing to do. But
we got a lot of really nice stuff for that.
Yeah, last one honestly was pretty fucking solid.
Nice new. There was nothing gross.
Yeah,
I went through everything before to make sure, and everything was like really nice.
Hell yeah, love that.
Yeah, good shampoo and stuff too. It was really cool.
Nice.
Oh yeah,
it's really cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we could do a coat one in the winter at some point.
Yeah,
too. That'd be huge. Or like
for sure.
Nice
I got
and shit.
so much to donate for sure, so we could run that up for sure.
Yeah.
Do you ever get any homies rolling up to the show? Speaking, you just mentioned the homeless. I sometimes call them the homies. I just feel like it makes it more
like,
fun.
We got a lot of homies that come.
Homeless.
You ever get a homie not?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Normal crew rolling up.
No, yeah. I mean, and it's fun. Honestly, it's all love most of the time. It's like usually just like, if anything, they'll like you just hang out, ask for a beer, and just be like, hey, what's happening? It's like any of us are fucking like super close to being in that situation at any point, like regardless, It's like, so it's just like, have some fun, be like, we're just. We may be fucking blowing up your sleeping spot right now, so it's sorry,
There were tents at the skate park the one time.
Yeah, I felt bad when everybody kind of like left a little. Who knows if this is the best or worst? But there was a tent set up outside of our Belmont Bridge one we did in 420, and people were leaving little offerings of cans and
morsels and stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
did the same
nice.
For the bridge too. For the dude who lives like over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've actually been pretty lucky with that.
Yeah.
The beach
I was
pop-up
yeah,
we
I was
did. The beach pop-up we did have like a guy who was like staring at the girls like too much.
That dude was like throwing up GD and the promo vids and everything.
Yeah. And I mean, it's like
he was wilding. Yeah, I mean, but like he's not like.
I don't even think that dude is homeless either.
No, he wasn't. No.
Just an unsavory character.
Yeah. But that's kind of the same. Like there's definitely
some interesting people. Yeah.
But
speaking of,
most of the time it's people who are just walking up and they're like, damn, this is fucking sick.
Yeah.
Like no one's come up with hostility besides
the one NRA guy.
Old NRA white dude. So it's like fucking,
he can cap all he wants, but he enjoyed that. He stayed on the bench for like 3 hours.
He heard the Swesdo.
He didn't have to say
said, that's Susie Q's pumping out some tunes right there. All right.
He enjoyed calling the cops for 3 hours.
Hell yeah. He's a neighborhood watch.
Yeah.
He got something out of it.
The cops will come out if you have an actual problem. What makes them think?
Yeah. Right?
They're going to come out when you don't.
Yeah.
You got a lesson.
When there's fake issues, that's when they'll come out. Fake issues.
Do you guys ever provide food for like the people that come out? Is that something?
Yes.
Yeah, we have grilled this kind of stuff before.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Grilling.
100%.
Yeah, we did. Well, and so when we talked about shifting roles and stuff a second ago. We'll see what we do this year. We've like talked to some people about doing like actual food pop-ups, but yeah, a couple of times we did do like just free quesadillas, first come first serve on the grill. Like bring your own meat, use the grill type stuff.
Yeah.
We start at 1, we end whenever y'all leave.
Always try to supply
11,
water too.
always try to
Gotta
have
eat
water.
food once or twice.
Like you gotta eat some food, and I'm really big about like safety stuff. So yeah, gotta get some food, gotta have some water.
Fire
We
off
did
a
like
few
1 or
heaters.
2 no food, like 8 hours of just us there, like no food, and it was just like atrocious. We were all like mad at the end of it, and just like grumpy,
put it all in the
weird.
fucking
Yeah, yeah. It's like
I
we
don't
shouldn't
even-
eat.
Throw it in there.
Yeah.
Just throw it in the cart. Just be rapid. I don't care.
Yeah,
Wrap it up.
yeah. So we got a
just, like,
grill,
didn't
and
even- yeah.
And we're like, well, if we need to eat, everybody else needs to eat too. And so, yeah, we had a couple cool interactions with the food too. Because people don't know that you're just like giving it away.
I think on the 14th of July too, we're kind of
The dudes are grilling.
Yeah,
I'm
Yeah,
into
I'm
sandwiches.
So
Yep.
we're kind of setting it up for Sunday Scaries. There's a nice setup that Ariana's been kind of doing where she does a live stream on Sundays with a lot of like Fems and Thems DJs, where it's just very cool fucking music getting played out. The 14th of July is a Sunday. I think we're gonna have the function set up on Montrose Harbor, if I recall correctly. And then boys are cooking, Fems and Thems on the decks. Should have a good fucking time.
Yep.
And
Nice.
it'll be
Bring the meats.
bring the
Yeah.
meats, bring the veggies,
BYOM.
bring bring some pineapple for the grill. Let's
Oh,
fucking get
yeah,
crazy.
that's
with
the
it.
way to do it.
That shit's great.
And just
Yeah.
remember, it's hard to get into Montrose after a certain time.
Yeah,
In the
yeah.
afternoon, they'll shut
Maybe
it off,
park
so you
outside.
might have to
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
park
Hit
outside
the,
and
bring a little skateboard,
do a
scooter,
little
bike,
walk-in,
you know.
little scooter in,
Grab an
get on
e-bike
the
in,
lime,
Take the bus in, take the
you know,
yeah,
Rickshaw.
Yeah.
Rickshaw, yeah.
One day we'll get the rim jigshaw going.
That's when we get our bicycle with the
E-bike?
deck set up and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy?
Then I will start biking.
I mean,
people
that's
to
been
and
the
from
dream too
function.
forever. I love bicycling. Love biking.
We're gonna do a
around.
bike one sometime.
Gotta we gotta build out our own little
We gotta-
bike. So-
Okay, so we should just have everybody just do. You know how they have the where you like sync up the. We're in idea mode now. We've tangented. You know how they had that thing where you could like
Brainstorm
sync
session.
all the phones or whatever, like that, but like with a little with the little cubes. And we all just wear like on.
I
like,
think
just
they kind
on
of
hard
do
hats,
that with the sound.
on
I think
hard
they
hats.
have like a
The sound
Bluetooth
box?
receivers that they use with that dude
Yeah.
on the bike, because they'll have people with sound boxes like riding around like playing his shit on.
Yeah.
So I think he's got some like Bluetooth thing that probably throws out like a bit, like probably
Yeah, yeah,
50,
yeah.
100 feet or something.
Either
One
that
year in
or just
Detroit one year, like one movement year I went to with like this like after party thing, and it's like it's like 8. It starts at like 8 a.m. You know,
8
And
it's 8 a.m. a
it's, like,
day and a half
outside.
later. Not just 8 a.m. the next day.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a whole 36 hours later.
But yeah, they had a bike. They had a bike out,
Nice.
and it was totally like Bluetooth from this like stage that was
Hell yeah.
who knows where.
That's sick.
It was cool.
Damn.
It was cool. So yeah, they
Love
do that.
Can you imagine like Crazy Frog on the bike? Like,
Actually, I think it was
Bring ding.
dedicated.
like bobbed
receiver.
out, and you're just like,
Bum, bum,
you know.
bum, bum, bum.
So just speaking of homies, still not the homies that I was talking about. You know, when you have these events,
Juggalo homies.
yeah, the juggalos, dude.
Shout out,
Fago!
shout out the Lowe's and Let's whoop whoop.
Whoop whoop. Speaking of homies, like how many people, you know, like are in the core crew, and then how many people kind of like show up, like generally, like when you're doing a pop-up, how many people do you like kind of generally expect?
Really varies, kind of.
Depends on the place. If there's
Been all
already
over the
people
place.
there, like
Such a like fickle thing, you know. It's like it's 8 million different variables that come into one for all.
I feel like normally 25 to 50
at least.
at
yeah.
least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Since 2003, since last summer.
Since
it's been-
2003.
Yeah, it's like
Since 2003.
Yeah, 2020.
2020. Yeah, I know what you meant.
We've been going at
It's been getting a bit more consistent.
decades.
Yeah, it's like it's been pretty consistently like 50 people for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Like it definitely in and out to the day.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what we can get. That's kind of what.
And
we
then
can for sure pull.
sometimes
On the
you'll easily
bigger
get
side,
upwards
except
of
for last
like-
Saturday, but
if you get the like, if you're at the Chevron and it's a nice day, there's probably already 50 to 60 people. Like the first Chevron
Montrose
was
is
chilling.
packed
Yeah,
out a
yeah.
bit
Mass-
last year.
Yeah,
Well,
last
the
one's for the
function
function
one,
ones.
function one.
Montrose for a couple of them,
There was
and
a
Montrose at the
Scaries
the
popped out.
the
poppin'.
beach. Yeah, the Scaries.
I feel like Montrose is so spread out too. There's that whole like downstairs like fucking deck area or like the seawall area that everybody kind of kicks it at too, where it's like everything gets so spread out.
somebody
Montrose. It's
proposed
hard
to
tell.
their
Oh, that was fun.
probably now fiance, or they're
Hey.
probably married now.
Hope there's-
At one of them,
Hope it went well, champ.
yeah. Hope there weren't any objections. You know, rock on.
Rock on.
Yeah, that was like probably the one mishap we ran into. So we started setting up, and some dude's like, "Hey, I was gonna propose to my my girl here. Could you maybe just like turn it down for like this amount of time?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, sure." You know,
So we
like-
played Natasha Bedingfield. Yeah. Nice. It went off.
Nice.
we all cheered. It was funny.
Yeah, that was a good.
Have
Love is in the air.
Have you guys ever run into, like, 'cause it's not like a festival, okay, but like, you know, a festival has proper like med tent, blah blah blah. Does anyone ever get like unruly or like too drunk, too on drugs? Like, does that ever happen where you have to deal with these people?
Luckily, we haven't
Never.
had like too much of that really so far.
Okay.
But
That
we do always
know
keep
personally, no.
No.
We try to
keep
encourage.
Narcan on us.
Keep that
Yeah,
Narcan,
we have
okay.
Narcan.
Keep Narcan on
with
us.
us.
We keep Advil. Yeah, I guess. A
Lot of water.
A lot of
Live
water.
for Lolly. Live for Lolly is
Yep.
Water,
a company
electric.
my homie is involved with. They give out free Narcan and fentanyl test strips. They actually set up at different centers throughout the Chicagoland area.
I think any Chicago public library too, you can get free Narcan at.
Yep.
And,
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah.
If they have it.
Yeah,
left.
exactly.
But yeah, no, we always
Yeah.
try to once again keep it safe.
Yeah.
And thankfully we've never had any serious issue.
We try and keep I feel like, I don't know, it being in a public park, we've seen people with like nose drugs out there, you know, it's not ever like your favorite thing to see when it's just like kind of in the mix at a public park, but people are going to do what they're going to do, you know, people do that shit just listening to a Bluetooth speaker on the lakefront, so it's like,
Yeah.
can't control it. It's like 100%. But you know, it's like
You
I
could
feel
be
like
a
we
little
try
bit
and
more
err on the
discreet,
side of
you know?
like let's everybody hold an air of like personal responsibility here and like
Yeah.
keep your shit together.
And remember that you're
There-
like out there with
You're
like,
in public. This isn't an
you're in a
event.
public space.
Yeah.
Like, there's other people out there.
exactly. Let's
and
respect
we
the
don't wa-
space we're
right,
at.
it's
Let's
like-
not get too crazy. We all,
It's kind of it's in the motto.
we,
you
we,
know?
we all like to get a little lit up. We all like to fire off some heaters, drink some beers, or blow weed. You know that happens. But
Blast six.
yeah, blast cigs. It's gotta happen. But you know,
Yeah,
you
that's why it's
keep it-
important to like at least have that like big water jug, like that Gatorade
Yeah.
jug that you bring out, like at least that, because like keeping people hydrated during the summer is like the main thing. Like,
Dude, glass of water and a hot dog to save your life one
Yeah.
day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so true.
Lizzie
I mean,
and
it's,
a
it's
glacier.
I mean, no,
It's-
like there's been times
glacial
I've pulled
glue.
up. There's been times I've pulled up and I had nothing,
Yeah.
like nothing but like my decks to meet up with you guys, and like you thankfully just saved the day for me, and it
Oh,
had food for me, had water for me. And like, oh man, I was gonna die if I stayed here and didn't
Right.
have this.
Yeah.
picking Cliff Bars now. I just put Cliff
Yeah.
Bars in the
Yeah,
bag
it's
on the
all-
way
it's all
down. So in
about
case
trail
anybody
mix.
doesn't have
All about
anything,
looking out for each other.
right?
Yeah,
there is a
Yeah. Sorry, go.
oh, there is a. We realized last Saturday, there is a good sandwich place by the Chevron, like, so.
What's
There
the
is
spot?
It's the,
I took a
it's the golf
picture of
course.
it. It's
the
like a
driving
little-
range. Has
Oh,
It
food.
starts with a
really?
B.
Yeah.
It's like a
Damn.
little Italian place. They
I
got
was gonna
pizzas.
say,
They got burgers.
damn,
I
I'll have
think
to
and they
try
got
that
little
out.
steak paninis.
But
Expensive.
if you want to pop over
They're
the
very expensive. They got
Lakeshore
crumb
Drive,
buckets.
yeah, it's because you're on that side of
Yeah,
Lakeshore
yeah.
Drive. You know, anything over there, you're
Owned
fucked.
by the city.
But if you pop over onto, I think it's Clark, and maybe I think it's just south of Diversity a little bit, or maybe just north. Donor 97, I got that the other day. It's like real doner
Oh,
kebabs
damn.
out in Chicago. So fucking fire.
Yeah, you were just talking
It's
about
like,
that.
yeah,
Isn't that where
definitely
we
hit
got
that up.
that food truck at that fest?
No, that was Donerman.
Donerman kebab,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
that place, Demon Tap, yeah, that
Yeah.
place is
Donerman was good.
It's all right, but it's not the legit style of like actual
Yeah.
doner kebab. This place like does it the way they do it in like Berlin and Germany and like Turkey
Okay.
and all that.
Yeah.
What is a doner kebab?
It's like a German street food that Turkish immigrants kind of brought over there, and
Yep.
it's pretty much like a pita like cut in half, opened up. Bunch of shawarma in there of either like chicken or like a beef and lamb mix, kind of bunch of vegetables and sauces all sprayed. Just a nice
Curry.
pocket of like meat, veggies, and sauces.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's
Love
a
meat
German
pockets.
Turkish food.
German, yeah, Turkish street
immigrant
food,
street
yeah.
food. Thing.
So fire.
It's so insanely good.
Yeah.
Very good. And yeah, the dude that runs it, crazy fucking nice. Seems like he just like, I think he's like from Turkey, opened it up out here. Seems like a fucking nice ass dude. Tasty shit, you know.
I feel like a food truck would pair well with what you guys are
Oh,
doing. Have you guys
Actually,
ever?
one of our Circus Anthony, he's like
he could get
he's
into
like
that with us. He's making one.
He was making a food truck.
He, like,
I think
just
he's
got
pretty
it.
far along on
Yeah.
it. So I don't know
Soon
if he's gonna.
he may.
I don't know if he's
Yeah.
popping up with
got another dude,
to
too.
another event.
Got another dude who's a cook who wants to do like little
Nice.
pop up food with us.
That'd be sick.
Yeah, there will be probably more legit food options coming
yeah.
soon, but
The
until
food truck
then,
thing's
We have
kinda
another
hard
chef
to do
friend,
in
too.
Chicago. Like the food truck thing's kind of hard to do in Chicago. Like as far
Yeah.
as like inspections and shit. Like there's the food truck inspections are like so much more rigorous compared to like any other restaurant that you're setting up.
Yeah.
And, like you have to have very specific equipment and like there's really no
Makes sense.
cheap way of doing it essentially.
That old Illinois tax.
Yeah, I mean,
Stuff the pockets.
I don't think you could use gas unless like you. I mean, you have to have like a hood of some sort. Like
Yeah.
and, like
I swear
Yeah.
I've seen hoods in there, but maybe not.
yeah. I mean, and that that's something. Shit just adds up real fast.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like just throwing some cheap kitchen equipment in a
Definitely
truck.
not something you guys should try to do,
No.
but maybe
Oh,
a
no.
collaboration
Yeah.
with
Oh,
someone who's already
absolutely.
got it set
And
up.
like also, it's like for our purposes too. If we could just get a nice little flat top out there, like a propane or something, I
Yeah.
feel like
Yeah.
people could run shit up on that pretty easily.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Nice
yeah,
table
yeah.
and a flat top, or just like big charcoal thing. Or
Yeah, we
I
were
could
doing
do
the
stuff with
charcoal
the,
grill with the griddle on top.
That's-
of it.
that's
You
the
get a-
best.
I can
Yeah.
do stuff with the if we have like with the Jackery in it because I got a couple of those like a little like the sandwich makers like panini maker things and like
Ooh.
the
Jackery.
like
Cubanos
cooking,
on the lakefront.
like eggs and stuff like poaching eggs on there.
If we
and
get a
stuff like
flat top going, I'll straight up hit like the Grill Smith vibe. Like I'll be
Yeah.
up there fucking spinning and then
Cooking
just,
it
like,
up.
flip the
Yeah.
quesadillas.
Best DJ right here.
I'm about it.
Best DJ in
the
the
truck
crew.
bed smoker,
Can
you
cook
know.
while
See me
cooking.
truly sweating then.
Dude,
But yeah.
get
Yeah,
the
no,
fire
Working
up.
at a lake effect would be pretty primo.
Yeah, it would-
Start at like 9 a.m.
Yeah, it could work
Start
out.
feasting at like 5.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Hawaiian
Yeah, that'd be
barbecue.
dedication though.
Yeah, a lot of
be
gas
hard.
for the Jenny on that one. A
Yeah.
lot of coals for the fire.
Yeah, I think I cooked for like 2 hours straight at one of them, and I was just like, "Oh my god, this is terrible."
Yeah,
Was that
you'd
when you
be
were doing
manning
tacos
it.
at Montrose or
It, is,
something like
it
that?
was the beach one. I
Oh,
was
the
doing
beach one. Yeah,
quesadillas.
yeah, yeah.
You were
Again.
manning the fucking
Yeah.
grill there.
That one just like took a long time because we didn't have enough coals, so it was all cold.
It was taking forever to heat up,
Yeah.
right?
Well,
And, like,
other people
they
used
were,
it,
They were
and
like,
then-
"Can we get some coals?"
Yeah.
They're like, "Those people we need some coals."
Yeah, it's like, dude,
Oh, man.
oh my god, yeah,
Sure,
yeah.
sure.
Pretty
here's
nice
some
to
coals.
Outsource some of the cooking.
That would be
Yeah.
good, yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
1000%.
No. Yeah. Somebody
Anyone wants to
if,
bring
if you
water
have a
too.
food truck
Yo, yeah.
and
Yeah.
you're listening to this,
Hey, Chicago,
pull up,
Pull
follow
up.
us, and pull up, and
You
we
like
would love to
cooking?
pay you for food.
like some fucking beats. We got hungry mouths to feed.
Yep.
I wanted to, we can start kind of wrapping up. We've been going for a while, but I wanted to see if there was anything else specifically you guys wanted to cover, something we didn't mention. Plans for the future. We talked about some plans for the future, some shows coming up. Obviously, if you're in Chicago and you want to go to, one of these events that you guys are throwing, go to Lake Effect, Instagram, Lake Effect.
Lake Effect Records presents.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
But
right.
anything like that we didn't touch on, or did we cover the bases?
Kai is also playing the Catacombs.
Yeah,
and I'm
Catacombs. We got
doing
Kai
a back-to-back.
after Jimbo here. He's gonna be playing a nice bit of breakbeat stuff, I feel like, and then after that, we have the absolutely fucking formidable mandatory coat check with Swesdo and DJ Scary.
The coat
That's gonna
check
be
is
fucking
mandatory, so if
mandatory.
we see any
Mandatory
coats out
coat check.
there, I mean, we'll
June
be on the deck,
21st.
so we won't be paying attention.
I'll be
somebody
sweeping.
will.
I'll be
yeah,
sweeping
somebody
the
will be
crowd.
swooping coats.
Mithra and I
we don't
and
see a pile of
Jimbo will
coats
be, sweeping
on the
crowd.
ground.
And if we don't have a wet dance floor for that, it's gonna be
Yeah,
tough.
they got to mop before.
Mop boys.
We should do a coat swap. No, I mean, I don't want to do the logistics of it now, but add some mandatory coat checks.
It's probably going to be too hot.
A coat
Oh, yeah.
swap. A
No.
coat swap in the
Oh,
winter
Lord.
time. Not that day.
Yeah.
Not that day. But sometime in the future, like one of those coat swaps, or
That'd be
what do they call them when you like
You put your
drop a
keys in
coat
the
off?
bowl.
When you drop a coat off, there's like a
No,
Oh, coat drive.
Eyes wide shut.
I was thinking of someone else.
coat drive. We should do
I thought you were saying like everybody
different
brings a
party.
coat. Everybody
Like,
has
sorry,
like you put it into like the same sizes pile. Everybody leaves with a
We
different.
should
coat.
do that in the winter as well.
You come in with the coat,
Yeah.
walk in with the North Face, leave with a Burberry.
Oh, you upgrade. Yeah.
Walk in with the North Face, leave with the.
I need a Patagonia.
Columbia.
I need a Patagonia.
Patagonia.
Begonia.
The
trying to think of coat
begonia. The
brands, yeah.
begonia.
Don't even,
The begonia.
Begonias. Dude, I fucked up some begonias yesterday. It's nuts. We dropped a case of K12s all over these begonias. Shouts out Westmoreland Country Club.
Shout out
Sorry, your
begonias.
begonias.
Shout out begonias.
Oh, they care there too.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
you go to the country club, they're on top
Oh,
of their
yeah.
They'll
foliage.
deal with it.
Dude,
Right.
they got. They'll be
Oh,
revived by tonight. It's all
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Turning.
Turn out
I'm
like-
sure they'll turn a new leaf. You know?
Yeah. Trying to think of anything else.
Yeah, I mean, well,
did we-
come out to the events.
Yeah,
come
come out.
check out to the outdoor
Yeah.
events. They're super fun.
They're
Bring
every
a
single
event we
blanket
have, come out.
and
Bring a cooler blanket.
and a
Bring some
cooler,
water of your own.
yeah.
Never
friends,
hurts. You know.
anything but UE
Bad
boom
attitude. No bad
and a bad
attitudes.
attitude. Yeah,
No bad attitudes allowed.
Bring a hat.
yeah. Come by,
Actually,
check
bad
it out.
attitude. Yeah.
Permitted.
The release
sometimes.
party?
If you do come to our outdoor
Maybe we'll
events
turn it-
already, give our indoor ones a shot. We're not gonna disappoint there,
We
even
don't
though you
bite.
can't.
Are we still in on the
Hammock?
release party?
What's up?
Release party?
And then
Frisbee?
and then
We're
Is that still happening? Or?
we're working that.
we're
out.
working it out.
Okay, okay.
And then pay attention to the record label.
Oh yeah, let's
We're
do
going
that.
to
Yeah.
be-
Record
we're going
label's
to
gonna be getting
be
revamped.
Listen to
we're
the
gonna
music.
be. We've got stuff kind of getting going for that.
Gonna be pushing a lot of the core membership people. We got
Yep.
a lot of talent in the group that we
Yep.
want to start pushing out there, man. It's ready. It's
Yep.
about that time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Might start trying to do like the records, like the release, like slowly releases in the summer and stuff like that, and then more heavy when it's like we're not doing so much outside stuff and stuff like that. So
We'll
still
see
trying to
whatever
figure out-
pace it
Makes
has,
sense.
but we are gonna like do more
Yeah.
of that.
Yeah.
And yeah, we've got some cool stuff. Hopefully, maybe some cool headliners
Yeah.
planned if it all works out.
Very cool headliners.
Yeah.
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 Very exciting
So
stuff.
yeah.
You
Keep
might
your
get
eyes
you might
peeled.
get
Your eyes
FOMO if you
peeled,
don't
yeah.
pull
Eyes
up,
peeled,
you know?
ears peeled.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Shouts
the
out.
Lake Effect Records, that's a separate page or it's a
I think
SoundCloud page?
yeah, Lake Effect Records is on Instagram
Bandcamp.
as well, and Bandcamp and SoundCloud. Yeah, we'll be having that
Spotify.
account cooking. Spotify, yeah, we'll be having that account cooking a bit more in the upcoming months here.
And then the Lake Effect Records Presents is more,
The event side of things.
yeah, catered to that, yeah.
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 Okay, gotcha. Thank you for clearing that up.
Yep.
Yeah.
On the podcast we normally ask that first icebreaker question, and then we do a callback. Which what was your first concert, but what was your most game-changing concert that you went to? That was just like the good one. Yeah, the one where you were like, all right, I need to like change my game. I want to do something differently with my life, with my project, with my artistry.
Had like so many of those.
I know, yeah.
It's like,
Had a couple.
yeah, fuck. That happens
it's a-
like
it's
a
a
couple
doozy.
times a year. It's like,
Whenever I ask it, people are just like, fuck.
Once a
what
year,
was
there's
I
one of
talking
them.
yeah,
about?
there's like a couple where you're like, okay.
First one.
Was
Yeah, let's.
First one.
Yeah, Eddie, do you want to start? You got
Yeah,
one?
Maybe, yeah. There's
Yeah.
a couple. I mean, I'm trying to think of like maybe something that set me on like where I'm going right now. I saw like Devious one at Smart Bar maybe like sometime
Nice.
between like I don't know like 2015 2018 or something like that, and that's when I started to like kind of like get techno more. I was like kind of coming out of like the bass music already and more into just like general just like listening electronica, IDM, chill out stuff, and that was the first time I was like, whoa, this is actually pretty sick. That And then, I don't know, my first year in Detroit for like the movement weekend was just like that was unbelievable, like life-changing. So one of those two, where I currently am at. But yeah, I mean, there's one of those happens every year. That's one of the fun things about this crew too, is like we're all like punters, like first and foremost, or like dancers or whatever. Like, like
What's a punter?
a punter, someone who just like goes and checks stuff out.
Oh, okay.
It's like a
You
it's like
send
a
it.
British term. Yeah, like I don't know. I've always heard like fans. It's a fan, you know. Yeah.
Okay.
Indeed.
Indubitably.
I gotta say, for one, just for I guess as far as like what really helped get me inspired for some of the Lake Effect stuff, maybe would be our friend Steve Noah was like throwing a pop up underneath the Ping Tom Bridge, like probably 20.
Is that like Chinatown?
21.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chinatown.
That's that park in Chinatown.
It's where the water
hot.
taxi will take
It's got
you.
the
If you
under
take
the
the water
bridge
taxi
thing.
from downtown, it'll drop you off right at that park. It's like 18th Street Bridge is right over it. So you're kind of underneath the 18th Street Bridge. It's a real nice vibe down there. That was a very cool one. And then like the Humboldt Arboreal Society parties that would be thrown in like 2021. Both of those just kind of really got me like, showed the possibilities of like these kind of free party aspects in the city, that like how much potential and just cool energy there is to be found in these like different spaces that you're in day to day without any music playing and stuff like that. So I feel like those kind of two parties got me really excited about kind of doing this outdoor stuff a bit more.
Totally.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's kind of hard to say. Most of my life was like growing up, at least throughout like middle school and like finding my own music. It was like very metal driven, screamo, hardcore, things of that nature. And I'd say the main thing that like shifted my entire like direction of even like ever going to a show like that again, just going off another direction, was Fish in 2018 maybe. The UIC Pavilion.
Wow.
Yeah.
Expect
My
your
only-
stuff
This guy
up,
fucking
dude.
parties,
It was
dude.
my only. It
Let's
was my
go.
only Fish show, and I didn't even like. I wasn't trying
We got
to go.
a fan in the building.
You going to the Sphere
Like
or
family,
what?
family friend came through, and or it was like married in like my grandma's stepson. Anyway, came through. He was like, "Dude, you should just come. You should come." I'm like, "All right, well, I don't really have any money." They're like, "Dude, just come. We'll get you a ticket."
No one has money here.
Yeah, I come to find out it wasn't too hard to find a ticket for free.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was just like, it just changed my perspective. I had it was probably, I think it was my first time I took psychedelics at a concert.
Nice.
And it just changed my perspectives of like what could happen in a live environment, and like what truly is entertaining. Like to this day, I still love metal and all of that, and I do crave being back in that environment. But it's I don't know, I feel like there's. I think it's just that it was that just changed my whole, like, I want to do this. I've never done this. And I want to like see what this could do.
If I
So
could
that would be the show for me.
add on to that real quick, is just I saw Pretty Lights in 2014 or 2013 or 2014 at Spring Awakening in the
Oh yeah, I was
Soldier
there.
Field.
I was there.
Yeah, that was definitely, I
Oh
was
my
like,
God, I remember that.
I had gone, taken a little bit of acid, and I was living in Westmont at the time, Illinois. My buddy and I came out here and we couch surfed on this like couple in Irving Park's like couch. We ate a bunch of acid, and then fucking like it was Diplo, Benny Benassi. We ate a little bit of acid at H.
Dude, when Spring Awakening was like good.
And people were dying, water bottles you couldn't have caps on. It was, when it was a real party. No, but, yeah, that was like one of my first, I guess, like electronic events that like were specifically electronic stuff I had gone to. And, I loved A-Track at the time, so I was like, A-Track says cool. When I saw Benny Benassi, I was like, Satisfaction, this is fire, this is fun, good time. Diplo's got a twerk team on stage. I'm on a little bit of the psychedelics. I'm like, this is something, but it's not necessarily the acid vibe per se. Yeah, it's a spectacle. Love some booty. Who can't? And then you walk in after that. It's a fucking like everybody's shoving their way into Soldier Field, and you just walk out, and it's like Pretty Lights playing this like DJ Shadow with Wubs type of music that I never really like. I never looked into him before. I just like heard of it or like seen him on the lineup. My friend had just kind of dragged me there, and then it was like one of those just definitely like, whoa, seeing all the like LED flow toys like across the entire Soldier Field, where it's like, this is where the fucking Bears play. Like, what the fuck? It's just
everyone's
like,
dancing.
it's little like
everyone's
electric circus. Yeah, you're just like, whoa. And then, yeah, I just remember smoking a bunch of like Newports and enjoying the fuck out of that and being like, okay, I think I can get into this music now. And like, really, that's like definitely kind of started me diving into the, I'd say more bassy side of things, like the more modern electronic side, because I'd listen to all the electronica, like kind of
like Blog House.
Yeah, I listened to a bit of that, and then I was like way more into like like Fatboy Slim, Chemical Brothers, like Moby style
Big
stuff.
Big
Yeah,
beat.
the
I
big
love
beat
big
shit,
beat.
and like
Bass Bin Twins.
a lot of that, like trip hoppy kind of electronica vibes too.
For sure.
Yeah. Sorry,
That was a great. I had a buddy who went to that show
Yeah.
and took ecstasy, and like he took two.
Too much?
He took two. Like one was good, but he was like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna take two.
Thank
And
you, sir. I'll
he
have
was
another.
like, that was the best show ever.
It was great. They
Yeah.
had fireworks going off. I think what was his name? Adam Deitch was like drumming and shit. Like they had the whole setup going.
It was
cool.
it was a good Pretty Light show.
Yeah, it was a cool spectacle to just like going in. Like I had zero expectations. Just
Yeah.
oh,
That's
I don't know what
nice
the
when
fuck
you
pretty lights
stumble
are.
upon something.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck's a pretty light? And then I'm
Yeah.
like,
That was me
oh,
with Fish.
sick.
Yeah, just like I
Yeah.
mean, I did have expectations, and then it was just like,
Yeah.
just because I heard like all the shit talk around it, and then I went there, I was like, that was a really cool show. Like, I don't know why people hate it so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. My buddy Jake was just
Jamie
like,
and Divas went.
And like I already liked like a lot of electronic music, like dubstep. I already knew about all that stuff, but I've never gone into like anything outside of metal before that. So it was definitely that show that made me like, all right, I need to check something else out other than just hard energy.
yeah,
music.
because that was the thing. I'd seen all the like Skrillex stuff, all the very like Afrojacky, like very like, or even like Girl Talk back in the day. Those sets.
Oh,
Yeah.
Those sets are alright, but all the like super high energy stuff, I'm like, whoa, this is like that kind of like hits your emotional soul vibe to it too a little bit, which was cool to get into. And then definitely influenced the productions for a bit.
For
Yeah.
sure. For
I
sure.
love that. How about you, Sven?
think-
Spence, yeah.
Yeah,
I'll be honest, I see a lot of shows. I mean, I've seen a lot of shows. I'm trying to think. I don't know if there was necessarily a show that like really hit for me that like was like, oh, like I'm like this makes me into electronic music, at least from like
or like a
first
genre
show.
more. Like I'd say
First show. I
maybe-
mean, like as far as like shows that really like hit for me, like Tycho at summer camp. I think it was like 2018. That was like something. And then like the first time I saw
That was
Thievery
a good one.
Corporation, I think it was at
Dude,
like summer camp. I
first
was
time I
like,
saw
oh my, like this is so like it just like kind of it's like real like a band playing like real dub, and I don't mean like dub like
No,
dubstep. I mean like dub like the genre of like
Thievery
reggae
Corporation
and
I
stuff like
stumbled
that.
upon, and that was nuts.
Yeah, them. I mean, like that era of Pretty Lights too was really cool and inspiring. Like the before he went on kind of hiatus
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And I'm trying to think of other stuff. I mean, yeah. I mean, yeah. Probably those are standouts. Oysterhead. I saw Oysterhead at Sweetwater 420 Fest in
Nice.
Atlanta. Right as everything was like kind of starting to come back from COVID in 2022. That was really fire. And I also saw the String Cheese incident for like the first time that weekend, like a bunch of times, because they had a bunch of sets and stuff like that. And I'd always heard like good things about them and that they like could play anything pretty much. And they can.
I still haven't caught a String Cheese set.
Yeah,
Me neither.
I try like when they come around here, they play like Chicago Theater, and I feel like that's one of those shows where like tickets get bought out really quick,
Real
and I'm
fast.
not really like
Yeah, spend
it's
money
just-
to get
right.
it.
It's just like I'm not really into those shows where
I
you
never
gotta
went to
spend like
Forest or
$150
anything.
to like and like be on the ticket page in like 10 minutes and like maybe you get. I'm not really like a big fan of that. That's like
Nah.
why I stopped doing Lollapalooza after a couple 3 years. Besides like, you know.
Yeah.
I just remembered that Fish show was actually 2011 because
Nice.
2012 was when my like first crazy festival was Electric Forest. So it was, 2011 Fish. It was way earlier.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Year later, you're
like a whole year earlier.
Forest.
Thievery Corporation, I definitely stumbled upon like kind of at a Somerset festival, like in
That's a good
20, I
stumble
think
upon.
2015. Well, literally, my friend at the campsite was just like, "Yeah, if you see Thievery Corporation, like make sure you go check them out." And I just remember walking up on this set. I had like a blunt in my pocket, and I was riding around by myself, just like walking around. I'm like sitting there for like half an hour. I'm like, "Man, who the fuck is this?" Like talking to someone. They're like, Thievery Corporation. And I was like, this is the best music I've ever fucking heard in my life. God damn.
I heard their name like growing up, and so like I knew of their name since I was a kid, but I never really super got into that. It's kind of like one of those names that you hear, like the Chemical Brothers.
I had heard their like
Prodigy
tunes
or something
before,
like that.
exactly. Like I had heard their
you would
music, but
see them
never
in
like knew
They were
it.
so known, you would like see.
It was
them in,
like
a
very
iTunes thing or
90s,
something
you
like
know?
that.
Yeah.
Chill outy, new age stuff.
I love
Yeah,
that shit.
I love that too. I listen to that a lot during the summer, and I'm just like walking
There's
around.
Some great summer music.
Oh man.
Yeah, dude. Well, you know, we've covered a lot of ground here.
Yeah.
I'll also just speaking of festivals, because honestly, thank you guys for being like honest and open about like, you know, oh, I took acid at this thing and whatever, because some people are a little wary. Some artists,
in the other room. Right here.
some artists, you know, I get it. You're protecting the brand. Yeah, bring in the cops. But like, I appreciate that because it's a huge part of a lot of people's experiences that were, you know, eye-opening.
Yeah,
It's
not
part
like-
of the music. It's part of music. You know what I mean?
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Especially weed.
It doesn't
Definitely.
have to be, but it's
It doesn't
like,
have to be. Yeah.
It can be.
It's around the area.
Yeah,
Like
and it
there's
doesn't have to be.
people
It
that
can
don't
be.
do it.
I would say if you haven't done it and you're thinking about doing it, be careful. I don't know how
Yeah.
old your audience.
Like there's a chart.
you can
there's a-
always do more. Is the key.
Yeah, that's the
It's
key.
like, you know,
You're right.
You can
Start
always
slow,
fucking
start
do
slow.
more.
And there's a chart of like what not to combine too. So like
Yeah.
if
You're
you
right,
have
yeah,
like a
I've
couple
seen that.
drinks and
Shout out
somebody's like,
Airwood,
"Oh, you want to try some
shout out
ketamine?" Like
Airwood.
probably don't do that
Yeah.
if that's your first time.
And if
Being
it
offered
comes in a
that.
powder form, test the fuck out of it.
Yep.
Don't be like
Yeah, it's too
dilute it
dangerous
all.
now.
Dilute it all. Put it in some fucking saline or whatever. Test it that way. That's the only way you can test the entire bag.
Yep.
You
And
snort it out
double
the
check-
snail. I'm not gonna give you the whole fucking
Yeah.
details. I don't even do nose drugs like that, but too many people fucking die from that shit
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
And also
Fucking
double check
tragedy.
what
No
your
shame.
what the if you're not sure what the nose drug is, make sure you know what it is because it might
Yeah.
not be the thing that you're thinking of, and it might look the same even if it is tested. You know, double check that it's what you
Indeed.
think it is.
Yeah, for real.
Never
Anyway, I'm not like trying to promote drug use, but I'm just trying to be realistic.
No, there's
Yeah.
no point. There's no
Yeah.
point in leaving out very like
Yeah. Why?
specific
Why cut the
things
corners
like
on that?
You know, like,
Yeah.
It added
no.
to the experience.
If
for
I
sure.
went to Fish sober, it probably wouldn't have like really shifted me the way it did.
For sure.
Like
They were
little
jam
acid, it just open your mind a little bit. and-
Seeing Duffery and Somatose at Astro Valley in like 2018, I had my fucking brain melted from that. And that was definitely kind of one of those things where I was like, I'm gonna make this kind of music now. And like,
Oh, for
you get like into that whole
Oh my
thing, and
God.
it was like, cause I'm in this fucking crazy acid experience for like 2 hours, just like locked into these two artists' things. And it's crazy now, just kind of like being almost like peers with them, and how it's just like everything kind of like if you do, I don't know, it's inspiring to see if you do fucking set your mind to trying to do some shit. You can do it, and it's like not like I've really had too many crazy legs up as far as like music shit goes, besides just like being around music my whole life. It's nice.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah, like the pursuit, and then somehow becoming friends with these people that you looked
Yeah.
up to, and you're just like,
wild.
what? Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah.
Try not to fanboy. Be like, oh
Yeah.
man,
Oh my god, I love you.
I fucking had a life changing
kinda-
experience to your setback. I'm like,
yeah.
You ruined my life.
right. If I've ruined your life, please come and tell me, and I'll ruin it some more.
Sometimes it's nice to like go into those situations too, like kind of as a punter, but not knowing, like, being a little bit of like bliss, having a little bit of like blissful ignorance.
Yeah.
You know, like
Oh, totally.
you know, and then you like
1000%.
kind of like it does kind of take out that fanboy because you're like that happened to me, you know, recently.
Yeah. I mean,
And-
any one of those like big experiences, yeah, very likely involved, you not knowing what you're getting to, and maybe some like substance experimentation. Like I think that's pretty normal.
Big cup of water, you know.
And a cup of
Big
water,
cup.
a lot of water. But
Big
yeah,
cup of water.
nothing wrong with that.
You can overhydrate, but it's probably unlikely. I have heard.
Don't be that like that lady trying to win the Wii. You know?
Yeah, dude. I know. That's That's like the weirdly saddest story to me. I remember someone told me that. I was just like, what?
Bro, the fact that the prize is a Wii.
Yeah, I know. She drank
The least.
I mean, those
too
were
much
banging back
water,
then.
like to
Didn't pee.
a fatal amount of water
It was
to
like a
win
contest.
a Wii. Yeah.
Who could drink the most water?
Yeah.
She drank a like metric fuck ton. Didn't pee or anything like that. And I think not peeing, like doing all like your body can't take. You drown pretty much.
No pee, no wee.
I don't know if you.
drown yourself.
Well, I know it's ironic. It's the wee. She's trying to
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. No pee, no wee.
Oh,
But no, those back then, I feel like it was when Wii's were like sold out everywhere,
stopped.
and it was like no one could fucking get one.
I got one.
Because I remember
It was
it
a
was
hot prize. Yeah.
oh
Yeah.
my god.
Hot prize.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I think we can wrap it up. Any shout outs real quick, not to like go too far, but like anyone you wanted to shout out
like
that we didn't hit?
hit like 20.
We hit a
over
lot.
this
Yeah,
time.
there were
Yeah.
so many. We can kind of run
Okay.
back through them real quick. We got Epiphany Center, Poducer, Kai,
D.
Notion Swamp with D,
Shouts the fuck out D. Notion Swamp Woofer. Shouts the fuck out
Chicago.
Dana, DJ Scary.
Dana, DJ
Shout out
Scary.
all the public
Chicago.
spaces in Chicago.
Every single fucking person that's ever come to one of our things.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Thank you for coming and experiencing our
Anybody
bullshit.
that we personally met at one of those or didn't that still came out.
Shouts to anyone that's
and-
played one.
Shout out
Anybody-
Water.
Anybody that provides without us asking, that's major. If you pull up,
We
and
had two
start-
people that were like just on that vibe. Like, hey, if
So
you need
true.
anything at the next one, like we've been trying to make it out
Garbage.
to one. Like, appreciate that.
1,000%.
Garbage
Appreciate
picker
you.
uppers,
Yeah, people looking
city
after-
workers,
Shouts
Yeah.
out good attitudes.
Yeah, it's city workers taking out the
City
trash.
workers.
the Bellevue 3, Robert Hood,
DMX,
Ron Hardy.
Oh, yeah.
Ron Burgundy.
All right, this is where we cut it. Where can people find you? Where can people find you individually as well?
Oh, yeah. We got Lake Effect Records Presents on Instagram. Lake Effect Records on Instagram as well.
To Lerp.
Lake Effect Records on Bandcamp. Pretty much for the main page. You guys can fire off personal pages. Yeah.
SoundCloud.
We're like Lerp 872 on
SoundCloud.
Twitter.
Yep.
Nice. Yeah. Twitter's lerp872 underscore 872.
Yeah, Lerp
underscore
LERP
872.
underscore 872. We just post like,
Fun
like,
stuff.
Yeah, or just
Tweets.
sharing like, we got this event coming up. Just
Exactly. If you wanna stay
Find the
tuned in, tap
Instagram.
in.
You'll get.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll find everything from there.
Yeah.
It's not too hard. We don't keep it super clandestine. So, yeah.
It's all presented very openly.
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
individual.
Got Relativity Lounge on Instagram. Anything you got, Relativity Lounge, baby.
Yeah, I think all of our monikers are pretty. No one has to sacrifice
Yeah.
any of the handles.
Yeah, we got good
for the
SEO,
most part.
folks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What-
Rimjickles on Instagram and SoundCloud.
Swazdo on Instagram and SoundCloud.
That's SWESDO. Folks.
Other self, everywhere. Instagram is _. We also got DJ Scary, Thisbe,
Thisbe.
THYSBE.
Shouts the fuck out, Thisbe. Shouts the fuck out,
Honorable
DJ Scary.
mention,
Two tips,
Danables,
Danables.
Two Tips, Detach,
Detach.
Detach.
Silent Heights,
Poesja.
Serena.
Mithra,
Silent
Satellite Era,
Mithra,
and
Satellite
Mithra.
Era, Norfolk.
Yeah. Those are
Kanzi.
You start with the Instagram, you'll go from there. Kanzi. There's so
Just do a deep
it's a family
dive.
affair.
Dive in,
yeah.
baby.
Okay, very last thing. I didn't ask this, but I wanted to before. Do you guys have a motto?
Keep it clean, keep it safe, keep it moving.
Fire.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, guys.
Fire.
Well,
Fire.
you heard it here first.
Initially fire.
Initially fire.
Yeah, now it's that.
If you guys
here,
have made it this far, we appreciate you listening, and
yeah.
we'll catch you next time. Peace.